Okay, alright. Hello, and welcome to episode 92 of Flix and the Six. I'm one of your hosts, Anthony Costanzo, with me, forever and always, the man, the myth, the cave of wonders, Alessandro Bielsi. Say hello, Al.
My hamstrings hurt.
Joining us this week, making his return to Flix and the Six, our E3 correspondent, Brian Clown Shoes Rooney. Say hello, Papa Bruns.
Don't get too excited about an E3 correspondent. I am in New Jersey, not California.
They don't need to know that. On this week's episode, we recap E3 and share some news and nuggets, all before diving into our flick of the week, Aladdin. But first, Al, what are we drinking?
We are drinking Magnify Brewing. Sorry, I got distracted by the logo. We're drinking Magnify Brewing 1000% Imperial India Pale Ale. It's 8% alcohol by volume. This one came in a pint.
Yeah, it did.
This is our second Magnify on the show. Obviously, we've gone into some detail in the previous episodes that this is Anthony's, if not his favorite, amongst his top 5 favorite breweries. It's also fairly close to where he lives, so...
Brian wants to take a sip so bad. He just keeps putting the beer so close to it. Let's let him do it. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
I like that. How do you feel?
Drunk.
Brian's a bit of a lightweight. I may have to drive him home later. I will tow his car behind me.
You got drunk from that, like, inhale as you were sipping the beer?
Brian, tell us about how you inhale drinks.
Oh, what happened today?
Yes.
Luckily, now it's going to start again. That you make me think about it. About 4 hours ago, I took a breath while taking a sip of coffee, and I've been coughing ever since.
Inhaling hot coffee.
Wait, so what you're telling me is we're going to record an episode of a podcast shortly after you aspirated coffee into your lungs?
Well, not that short. There's like 4 hours ago, but I just, up until now, because I guess I
as
stopped
far
thinking
as
about
lung
it.
fluid is concerned, 4 hours is shortly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As far as we're talking about aspirating fluid into one's lungs, that seems like a short timeline.
I'm alright.
Were you working with the cuvets when you did that? It's the one word that I know that's related to your job.
Not said properly, but
Damn it.
close enough.
Hey, what was it said?
Cuvettes.
Cuvets.
Qubits, parsecs, who the hell cares?
Not me.
Not me. This beer is delightful. I love, as usual, I love their beers. I love that you got tripped up by the logo because it is a little bit of a magic eye poster.
Yes. Well,
always juicy, always delicious.
no, what I got thrown off by was not actually the like the pennant thing with the 1000% on it. Just it was actually like the Magnify Brewing logo, because I was like, Magnify Brewing, and then I was ready to go back to the top where it says 1000%. But then my eye got drawn in by the little bit of text under brewing, and I was wondering if it was going to say, like, you know, company and associates, something or other, and no, it just said made in New Jersey.
Made in New Jersey.
Which I was going to get to afterwards, but I was so thrown that I was like, you know what? Now it doesn't get mentioned, the fact that it's in New Jersey, so...
Yeah, you avoided that one.
Not well, but I did. I mean, temporarily.
You just mentioned it.
12 times.
Hey, Brian, go drink some coffee, okay?
How do you... Ouch.
Go breathe some coffee.
Yes. Sorry, is this your favorite Magnify, or was it the cream line? Or no, we didn't do the cream line. What was
we
the one
didn't do
that
the cream line yet, but the cream line is probably my favorite of the ones that I picked up. Low visibility is the one that is like their go-to one for me because it's more readily available and I can actually buy it around here. These ones I was only able to get at the brewery.
Which was the one we did a few weeks ago?
Silence is killer banter.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, I was wondering if it was... I saw the cream line in the fridge, because remember, I was looking through it right before we got on air.
It wasn't that.
I sent you a picture. You knew what you were looking for. I'm just saying.
Yeah, after I already sat down with the beer in my hand.
We had some trouble.
Semantics.
Better late than never. That's the one.
Oh.
Better latte than never.
Because of the I should have remembered, because you loved the title of that episode, the Galaxy Quest.
It was
better
great.
late than never. But yeah, no, I was wondering because that one had the lactic acid or the lactose, whatever, in it. And this, but then the other one says cream line, so I guess they do more than one with the.
They do. I don't know. Brian just pointed out that there's a heartbeat on the Skype call, and I don't know what that means. I guess the call is live, and we're okay.
Is he having a stroke from the coffee?
He may be. No, Creamline I think is my favorite, so we'll have to hold off on that one for like a really solid flip.
I wanted to ask Brian, what is your actual taste in beer? I can't remember if we discussed it the other episode we did with you.
Until recently, IPAs I would have rather dumped out in the street instead of drinking.
Well, that's what I was curious about, because I feel like I do remember you saying that you weren't a big IPA guy, so I was surprised that you guys picked this one.
Anthony's like, you okay with this? And I said, yeah. So, I guess I really didn't pick it. However, IPAs kind of grew on me. Like whiskey.
Okay.
Acquired
like
taste.
just in the past month, though?
Yeah, pretty recent.
Since he's just been getting trashed at home.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, if you get some really strong IPA, something like this, 8%, you could do that. Crush a few pints of this, and you'd be sitting pretty as far as that goes. But, no, I was curious because you were really excited for this beer. I was like, oh, maybe I had that backwards, and he's a huge IPA guy. And now you aspirated the beer into your lungs. Fantastic.
Just a little bit. But you feel all right with this one? This is a good one?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Excellent.
I mean, I feel like all IPAs taste the same.
They
this
don't.
is a good of the same.
So anyway, this beer is pretty cloudy. It's a very hazy IPA.
Very hazy. Delightfully juicy.
It's
You keep saying that. Is that their motto or
No,
yours?
that's just what I like about it.
I mean, he is correct. It is a juicy IPA. He may be overusing the term, but at least he's using it properly, unlike the Cubits.
Not to be confused with cubits, which were the distance from your elbow to the tip of your middle finger, right? Isn't that how they measured things in ancient Egypt?
Yes, which further shouldn't be confused with Cubert, the game.
I was going to get there next.
Because at this point, I would love to input the sound that he makes, but I won't be able to find that in time.
I'm sure you can.
I'll just go find the sound and I'll mimic it. That's how we do. That's how we do sound effects, right? We sing theme songs. We mimic sound effects.
I was gonna say, so we do theme songs.
Very very low budget here. You have one new. Let's do your one new.
One new.
We're gonna do your new, my nugget, then E3.
Makes sense because we're gonna lose steam if we do E3 first.
Fair enough.
So today I saw a trailer for Dr. Sleep. I retweeted it from the Spinchoon account. I didn't realize that they were doing a Dr. Sleep movie. Are you guys familiar with Dr. Sleep?
Isn't that the sequel to The Shining? Isn't that what that one was?
It sure is, Brian. Thank you for knowing the answer to that. Yes, so are you familiar with The Shining / Dr. Sleep?
I mean, I read The Shining when I was way too young.
Okay, that would be
Put it
traumatic.
in the freezer.
No, I didn't put it in the freezer. Nor did I put Little Women in the freezer. The book, not actual Little Women.
Wait, why would you put...
This is a Friends reference.
I was gonna say, why would you put small children or small women or books in the freezer? Why would you put either of them in the freezer?
When they're scary, you put them in the freezer so they can't hurt you.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
From Friends.
It's Friends.
The only book reference from the only book reference from Friends that I can call to memory is
The vicar won't be home for hours.
Yes, the vicar. And I'm not a big Friends
Where did
guy.
you learn that word? You got porn.
I'm not a big Friends guy, but I've seen that scene and it cracks me up.
Perhaps I should be sweeping the chimney.
The vicar won't be home for hours was great.
I love that show so much. Go
Okay,
on.
so you read The Shining. Did either of you see The Shining?
Yes.
Bits and pieces. I never saw it in its entirety.
Okay, yeah, so I've seen like little clips of it, but I read the book maybe 5 years ago. Great book. From what little I know about the movie, I think they changed it pretty dramatically, actually. Other than the basics of guy, telekinetic son, wife, haunted at a hotel. But I think the nitty-gritty details, they changed pretty substantially from what I understand. I did not get around to reading Dr. Sleep, though I did kind of want to. Although I think he wrote that sequel like a couple of years ago, even though he wrote...
Oh, it's like recent.
I think it's a fairly recent sequel to The Shining that he wrote, 50 years ago or 45 years ago, whatever it was.
How old?
But yeah, so I saw the trailer. Were you guys aware that this was even...
No one knows. I did not watch the
I did
trailer.
not see it.
Were you even aware that they were doing it?
I saw Like, hey, watch this trailer. I just didn't.
Okay. No, I just want because it wasn't even on my radar.
I didn't know it until I saw trailer for this movie.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. So I checked it out. It was creepy, as one might expect. But I was more curious. I didn't realize Ewan McGregor is playing adult Danny Torrance in this.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it looks like it's a relatively unknown cast, at least to me, and I feel like I have a decent, radar for these sorts of things. But it's Ewan McGregor as Danny Torrance. Rebecca Ferguson is one of the leads. She's the one from the last 2 Mission Impossibles.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Jacob Tremblay is playing, I don't know if it's going to be Flashback Danny or someone, because he doesn't have a name next to him. He's the only person in the main cast who doesn't have a character name next to him. But he was the kid from the Predator movie. The recent one. The kid who's the main character's son who
found all the stuff. Was he in a Room?
Yes.
He's also in a new movie coming up. What the hell is it called?
Dr. Sleep?
No.
Correct.
He's in something funny that's coming out.
Yeah, I don't think Dr. Sleep's funny.
Can't find it. No one knows. No one can know.
But anyway, I'm intrigued by this. One of these days, I know that that I am remiss in not having seen the Shining movie. I do want to see it one of these days, as I've mentioned on here several times, and to everyone that I've ever talked about watching things with. I keep a pretty long queue of things to watch, and I do not stick strictly to the order with them. Things get shifted around on it all the time. That is somewhere deep in my queue. I do need to see it, and this movie is coming out in November, so I guess I'll probably see it before then.
It's a shame that I didn't realize you hadn't seen it, and we probably have talked about this numerous times, but man, did it make Ready Player One. That scene in Ready Player One was so good. Oh, yeah, that was
awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm familiar with those big things that they pulled for it. Although, to be honest, as far as visually speaking, the reason I'm familiar with it more is because of the music video for The Kill by 30 Seconds to Mars, which is an incredible music video. Nice. But have you guys seen that one?
I think I did. It's old.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a long time
ago.
Leto's
group?
Probably 12 years ago. Yeah. What'd you say?
Oh, that was Jared Leto's group.
Yes. Yeah. Back when they were still good.
I don't even know when they were good. I don't follow that stuff, so I don't know.
Bird?
They got really, really poppy after that album.
But what if I wanted to break? So I'm gonna.
No, you know what?
Thank you very much.
No, that was legitimately good. It just took me a second to actually process the words that came out of your mouth. That was genuinely excellent. That's the type of thing I usually do to you. Well done, sir. Well done.
All right, so I've got a nugget for you guys. Yesterday, I didn't sign an NDA, so I'm sure it's fine. Yesterday, I went and saw the match game. I won't talk about who won of the contestants, but I went to see the match game taped live.
Oh, really?
And it was hysterical. So, Alec Baldwin hosted the match game. Now, the beauty of the match game is the celebrity panel that's up there. There are some gems, generally, that are on the show. And there's the way that it's set up, if you haven't seen the show, there's 6 celebrities on the panel, and there's 2 rows of them. 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. And the top left spot is what I consider the anchor. There's usually someone who's really makes you laugh, talks a lot, is like very involved in the show when it's on, very funny. Usually, the one that has like stood out to me the most that's up in that spot is Jack from 30 Rock. He's the redheaded guy from
Jack McBrayer.
Yes, from Forgetting Sarah Marshall fame and
his role in that is so great.
Many other things, and he's usually up in that spot, and he's hysterical. And I was hoping that he might be there, but he wasn't. The name that was in that slot was Timothy, and I was like, I cannot think of a famous Timothy that would sit in that spot.
Timothy Dalton.
Nope, Timothy Lennon. You're a whore, Peter.
Oh.
Yes. So now he is known.
Wait, is that his name?
Yes.
I'm still lost.
So he's known for that role in I Love You, Man, at least by me.
He's been in a million things.
He's been in a million things. What Brian will remember him from is Joey's identical hand twin.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it was just a really silly episode of Friends.
They're in Vegas.
Man, he was having a blast. So they're known to be drinking on that show all the time. They have alcohol. You can see it on live TV. I don't think so.
Superbad. No, you're thinking of what's his name? Paul Latrulio.
Joe
Latrulio. One of those Latrulios.
Maybe.
The guy who hits Jonah Hill with the car.
Yeah, it's Joe Latrulio.
Okay.
So anyway, he's on there, and so the way, basically, they warned us up front. They're like, "You guys have seen the show before?" And everybody was like, most people were like, "Yeah." They're like, "This is not that show." They're like,
"Oh,
we're taping one episode, which is 2 sets of contestants. You're gonna be here for about 3 hours." And he goes, "The celebrities have been drinking all day." And he's like, "They say things that we cannot air. If you get offended easily, leave." So wow. We were in it. We were in it for good now. And yeah, they went off the rails a few times, and real fun. But he is hysterical. And there was a whole point when they're doing makeup. They're checking everybody's makeup. They're lining all the cameras, framing all the shots. The entire time they're playing Ludacris.
The rapper?
In the PA system. They're just like, they have like music playing. They're trying to get everybody pumped up, and he is singing every word, and it's amazing.
Was it at least like "Move, Bitch" or something crazy like that?
It was something ridiculous. Now that was one nugget for Brian. I want Joey's identical hand twin was
that was a good one. Yeah.
I am just gonna throw this out here though. His name is Tom Lennon.
You're right. Thomas Lennon.
He screwed up his own story.
Anyway.
And he has notes in front of him.
That's not... Yeah, I actually wrote his name down somewhere, but I can't... Oh, there it is. Thomas Lennon. Check that off. Sorry about that. Doesn't matter. It was The Taste of Betrayal. You fucking whore. The other celebrity guest... Well, Caroline Ray is almost always
Oh, she's awesome.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, Sabrina.
Yeah, I always forget...
Not Sabrina, but...
Sabrina's aunt.
Hilda?
Zelda?
Hilda? One of them. Whatever.
I always forget that they're doing the match games.
Yeah,
I've seen clips of it, but I continuously forget that it's like still a thing.
The whole shtick is that everything is repetitive. We're all washed up, and they really lean into it, and it's very funny. And Alec Baldwin is hysterical on it. But the person sitting next to Caroline Ray is another one of Brian's favorites.
Oh boy,
Danny Tanner.
No.
Yeah.
I love Bob Saget.
We sat down and they had a whole bunch of names in the podiums, and we were like, "Who are all these people?" And we started guessing who they each were, and we were like, "Oh man, we think we knew who they are." And then the PAs came out, and they just changed all the names. It was from the recording earlier, and we're like, "Well, son of a bitch." So then they replaced all the names, and I was like, "Who is this Thomas?" Anyway, so there was that one. A couple of other names up there. At the top level, didn't know. Bottom right, didn't know. Then we saw Bob, and I was like, if this is Bob Odenkirk, I'm going to lose my mind.
I would have been saying, this is Bob Saget, I'm going to lose my mind.
You would have been right. And then Bob Saget came out, and he was gone.
Quick side note with Bob Saget. We went to see him live, I don't know, 7 years ago maybe. He was in Staten Island at the St. George Theater. Mm-hmm. So we go, and St. George is not a big theater. Bob Saget couldn't sell that out. So there was a lot of empty seats, especially up front. So he started his thing. He's going through, and he goes, there's a lot of empty seats, but just move up. Like, if you want to come up, move up. So this one dude darts, like, right to the front row from the back, and the whole show, he just made fun of that guy.
Oh, nice.
The whole show.
I need some material. Somebody come up front.
he fell right into that trap.
Yeah. Like, that
funny.
guy, he just sprinted to the front. And, like, Bob Saget was just staring at him. He's like, you fucking went for it. And then just, every joke right back at that guy.
Might as well shoot your shot, right?
Nice.
But it's funny, you said the whole thing, oh, Bob Saget, I would have lost my shit. I would have lost my shit if it was Bob Odenkirk.
Yep.
Because
Same.
Anthony knows how much I love him and his work, whether it be as Saul in either of the shows, whether it be him with David Cross in either Mr. Show or with Bob and David. That dude cracks me up.
I didn't know who that was until you said both
actor.
shows and Saul. Now,
Yeah.
I still don't really know who he is, but I put it together.
Yeah, if you've seen him, you would recognize him.
Yeah, Jimmy McGill / Saul Goodman from the Breaking Bad universe.
Yeah.
But it's well. The funny thing is, it probably couldn't have been him because apparently he didn't drink for like 20 years or something like that. I just remember reading something a few months ago where he went on Drunk History on Comedy Central.
I loved that show.
And he talked about like they invited him to do it. And he's like, oh, like that's cool. Like I would love to do it. He goes, but like I haven't drank since like my kids were born. Like for whatever reason, he just swore off drinking. He's like, I didn't have a problem. I literally had not drunk. So he was talking about like it was a lot of fun doing it, but like I was super nervous going into doing the show because like I literally haven't drank in like 17 years or something like that.
Are they really drunk on Drunk History?
I guess so.
I would assume
I just
that's
assumed
fair.
it was all fake.
I don't know because he talked about how he had a lot of anxiety before going on and doing the show. So
That's pretty funny.
That show's great. I learned a lot of history in that show.
I've always heard about it, heard from folks about it, and I've never ever checked it out.
I've caught
It's
it
hit and
like,
miss.
when
Okay.
I've caught it where like I've turned the TV on and the last thing I had on was Comedy Central and it's on. So I've watched it in like 2 to 5 minute snippets at times and like it's funny, but I just can't see myself ever sitting down and watching a whole episode.
Some of it gets annoying. It depends on who's telling the stories.
That's what it is. I've seen ones that I was like, this cracked me up from start to finish, and I've seen other ones where I got bored in like 45 seconds.
And it also depends on who's portraying the people, because they get a lot of celebrity like cameos. I don't know if it's considered a cameo, but like that play the characters in the story. But there's no voices to them. All the voices are voiced by the drunk person telling the story.
Is it still on? Is it like a consistent show? Or?
No idea.
No.
I just randomly would see it.
I think it's still running because this interview was from like maybe 6 months ago. So like it was like I think he gave the interview like shortly after having shot it, but it hadn't been on air yet.
That's kind of cool.
I think
That makes me want to check it out even more. So that was it. Just a little nugget. If you guys ever get a chance, listeners as well, to see any type of thing like this, any live recording, it really is a lot of fun, and it is always free. You put your name in and you get raffle.
You've done a lot of those sorts of things, right? Or like getting like those early screenings and shit like
I
that.
get the
like,
early screenings a lot. Then I've been turning them down a lot lately though because they've been very far, and I'm just not interested to go. I mean, there's always like the 2% chance that you're not gonna get in with those.
Well,
really?
Yeah, you have to be there at a certain time. You have to be in line at a certain time, and you have to like be willing to stand there. And like if you're late, there's a good chance that they don't want to wait for you, and they will pull other people in.
So I went to a taping for a show, and we had tickets for a certain day. We went there early, got there, and then we waited, and then we didn't get in, and they gave us guaranteed tickets for another date where even if you got there a little bit early, like you didn't have to be super early, you were in.
Right.
And that was very disappointing for me. Going to the show.
Oh, really?
So every time I've seen a talk show, everyone gets like some kind of free shit. I got nothing. And, like I went because I wanted the free shit, and then I went to a taping of the Rachel Ray show, and she had Gwyneth Paltrow on when she did that.
You're gonna need
movie.
me a minute to take that one in.
What?
Okay, I'm ready. Continue.
Do you remember that movie? I think it was called like Country Strong or something like that.
I remember that being a thing.
All right. Well, so the whole time I'm like, I wonder what free thing we're gonna get. Like, there's always a free thing. Like, I wonder. And then someone came out that was an author, wrote a book. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting that book. Now we didn't get that book. Then Gwyneth Paltrow comes out and talking about this movie and she's talking about the soundtrack. I'm like, all right, well at least we're getting the soundtrack. Now we need to get the soundtrack. Then it was what they called snack time, and we got pop chips, and it wasn't even the good pop chips. It was like original, not even salt and pepper. So
So never again for you.
It was a terrible experience.
See,
Brian,
I've gotten those things when I least expect them. I went to a company Christmas party at one of Mario Batali's restaurant before Mario Batali got canceled for being a creep. And
I mean, how could he not be a creep? He just looks like one.
yeah, I guess so. Well, I guess use your instincts on that one because he is.
I don't trust anyone in Crocs.
Well, everyone who cooks wears them. They were literally designed for that, I think. But
wow,
anyway,
that went immediately from a fact to a potential idea.
It's one of
Everybody
those,
who cooks wears them, I think.
I think it was designed for nurses.
No.
I'll let him have that one.
No. I am sure that the majority of people who cook wear them professionally. What I'm saying is them being designed for it. That's the thing that's not.
I think it was
not so
designed
sure
for
is a
medical
fact.
professionals.
All I'm picturing right now is my dad in Crocs behind the counter at the pizzeria.
Fantastic.
Got oregano in his pockets.
No, sorry. All I'm picturing is your dad getting out of his brand new pickup truck to go cook while in Crocs.
You got a pickup truck?
He got a pickup truck. I have almost fallen out of the pickup truck 3
My
times.
dad just got one too. Which one did he get?
Chevy Colorado. He really likes it. It's
would.
fun to drive.
He would.
This is an awkward rabbit hole out of a rabbit hole. This is like rabbit hole inception. But anyway, I went to a Christmas party, company Christmas party at Mario Batali, one of his restaurants, got a signed copy of one of his cookbooks. Another time I got invited to someone else's company thing at Yankee Stadium, and I got a signed copy of one of the books from the Bone series, like what they made like the show based on.
Like
which I didn't realize was a
David
book
Boreanaz
series.
show, Bones?
Yes. Apparently that was based on...
Yankee Stadium.
The event was at Yankee Stadium. I got the book from the person who wrote the book series that it was based on. Keep up, Brian.
Your story's full of holes.
All of this was a long-winded way to get back to the point that I was going to say about being in a live studio audience. Can you imagine me being in a live studio audience?
You'd hear no one else but you.
Honestly, they would really appreciate it.
But could you... Well, what I'm picturing more is it being like a thing that a lot of people watched, and people who know me...
Just hearing your laugh?
Yeah,
that's not canned laughter, that's Al.
Not knowing I was in it, being like, oh my god, was Al at this live... And I'm picturing the flood of like texts that I would be getting. Oh my god, were you at the live tape? Well, as a matter of fact, yes I was.
Well, I've never gotten anything free, but I've also not gone to any of those types of shows. Granted, you probably sorry. The beer just you know the bubble in Das Boot when that just happened to Brian, and he's drinking out of like a Brewster glass. So I don't know why.
It hit me right in the face.
Oh my goodness.
You're struggling with liquids.
He is having a hard time with liquids today. It's just not working out for him.
It's not my day.
Oh my God. I've never gotten anything free. Been to a number of them, but the show was good though. Did the shows suck that you went to?
I was so like into what free thing are we gonna get that I didn't pay attention to the show.
Okay.
Like I was like,
you ruined your own.
They mentioned this. Maybe we're gonna get this. All right, the next person's this. Maybe we'll get this, and I just didn't pay attention to the show.
Brian's like, come on.
I just wanted free shit. Like, why couldn't it be Oprah?
You definitely get something there. Yeah. That's a shame. But anyway, if you ever come across these things, put your name in. It's really fun. Go to these free tapings. They're really enjoyable.
I have to say, I genuinely have never come across one of these things. I have always wondered how these people get selected for these things. I don't understand how it is that you get selected for all these
Kim
things.
has tickets again for Friday if somebody wants to go, because we're not going again, and they're guaranteed.
You just sign up, and then you get an email that says, show up here. Maybe you get in.
Yeah, sign up where? That's my point.
Like their websites.
I didn't even know it was the thing you could sign up for.
Their
Here.
websites.
Sign up here.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why we got the Seth Meyers tickets that way. She signed up for them, and we've been trying desperately to get. Honestly, it was hysterical. It was actually really good. And during when the band was setting up, he did a little Q&A. It was a lot of fun. Actually, yeah. But we've been trying so hard to get last week tonight tickets. We really want to go see that.
That's John Oliver.
Yes. Anyway, let's dive into E3, shall we? Going to the field live for our E3 correspondent.
I was going to say, I'm going to dip my toe in E3 because I did not experience it in the same way that Brian did.
That's fine.
I didn't experience anything
Okay,
different.
so here's the thing. Generally,
yes, you paid attention to it, so by nature, you experienced it a lot more than I did.
Every year for these things, I get very excited. I do enjoy listening to what's going on, seeing the announcements, new trailers. I'm a sucker for a trailer. Movie, video game, love trailers. I was wildly underwhelmed with everything that I saw. There were some things that I enjoyed, but it was just. But at the end of the day, I didn't stick with it because I was just going, meh. And in a year with an extended new Halo trailer,
It wasn't a trailer,
not
though.
a trailer, but like a clip from the game, or what maybe it might.
Maybe
it might just be a vertical slice, but even with that, I was just like, all right.
But see, the thing with Microsoft and Halo is what you saw. Is that even in the game? Remember how they showed you Halo 5? He was in the desert. Was he ever in the desert in Halo 5?
Dude, I'm still sore about Halo 2.
Why? The ending?
What?
The ending?
No, I loved the ending. I don't know why people are up in arms about that.
Because it just ended.
It was great. I love a good
It just
cliffhanger.
ended.
But you knew there was going to be another one.
First off, it wasn't a cliffhanger. It was we ran out of money. It's over.
No. I saw that movie. They tell you.
I was going to make the Monty Python joke. I was going to say, I don't remember this being a Monty Python situation with Halo 2. Admittedly, it's been, 15 years since I played the game? But
he said, finishing this fight, sir. And then he jumped off.
And then you didn't get to finish the fight.
No, then you did in the next game, and then the next game, and the
Well, yeah,
next
he like jumped into like the transport thing, right?
he jumped out of the ship, I believe. I don't remember. Or no, he just like backed against it. I don't fully remember, but I really enjoyed it, and I was all jacked up, and that really got me excited about playing
jacked
multiplayer.
up?
Yeah. So anyway, I you know. I'm sure Al knows. I love Halo. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite game of all time.
You loved Bungie's Halo.
I did love Bungie's Halo. That is accurate.
Which
Very
ceased after 3? 3 was the last one?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, 343 took over for 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Who did Reach?
Bungie did Reach and ODST, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
They definitely did. They definitely did ODST. I couldn't remember if Reach was the last one or if 3/ODST was the last one.
I think they did Reach because wasn't the multiplayer for Reach just an extension of 3?
No, they changed. That was the first one they started substantially changing it, I think.
No, I don't know.
I
feel like the multiplayer in Reach was 4, but that can't be right.
I never played 4.
Anyway.
I don't have an Xbox.
The Bungie, yes, I miss the. Neither do I. I miss the Bungie Halos, and I am very excited. The one announcement that was, I think, it happened like 2 or 3 weeks beforehand of Master Chief Collection coming to PC. That got me excited because I have a PC that can handle it, and I've been missing those games lately.
xCloud gets me excited.
That seems cool. I'm okay with that. I know people. There are people that are like really annoyed by the concept of the streaming, and they're just like
stupid people.
Then don't
stream.
Don't buy into it.
Everyone's talking about data caps and speeds, but whatever, they'll figure it out.
Well, the only thing I saw people didn't like was what's the new like game service that Xbox has?
Xbox Game Pass? That you talking about?
Game Pass, yeah. People are upset with Game Pass because
I don't know why.
Game Pass is an incredible
it's an
deal.
awesome value.
Well, I just saw something in the last few days about it. It was one specific person wrote an article about it, and they said that they didn't like it because of the catalog wasn't very good. That was what they were saying.
The catalog is good. It's just the catalog's good for what they have,
and it's about to get better.
That was the whole point. Is what they have wasn't enough, and they rotate out the best shit pretty quickly.
They don't rotate.
I don't think they rotate.
They don't rotate. It's so
that was the impression I got, was that they rotate shit in and out.
No, every Microsoft third-party Xbox game is available on Game Pass. First party. Sorry, every Microsoft first-party Xbox game is available.
By the way, take all this with a grain of salt, as none of us.
That's true. Yeah,
Xbox.
this is a movie podcast.
I own an Xbox, but I don't have Game Pass. That's why
The problem that people have with Games Pass right now is they recently announced it's coming to PC. But it's a separate subscription unless you get the I forgot what they called it. That comes to Xbox Live and Ultimate.
I think so.
It comes to Xbox Live and Games Pass, and then that Games Pass will transfer to your PC. But if you just pay for Xbox Live and Games Pass separate, you have to pay for it again on the PC if you wanted it. It's not a unified service.
That's dumb because they did make a big deal a few years ago. They were gonna keep drawing everything closer and closer to the point where it was even being hinted at. Although I don't think they ever actually have pulled the trigger on it. But allowing crossplay between Windows, actual PC gaming.
There's some crossplay stuff going on. There's a lot more crossplay now.
But the thing is, they were hinting at it being universal, and they still haven't gotten to that.
Yeah, it was called Xbox Play Anywhere. You would buy the game on either one and get it on the other one.
I still own a license to Quantum Break somewhere.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about, though. No, I mean people playing multiplayer, that being the crossplay.
The problem with that is PC. If it's any kind of shooter, PC's at an advantage. So
which is why they haven't actually done it. But I remember them hinting at it a few years ago.
Well, there are a couple of crossplay
There are games that you can do that.
Fortnite is one that's crossplay between everything.
Rocket League
And Dauntless, which just came out, is crossplay with everything. And then Activision said the new Call of Duty will be crossplay.
Okay.
And then everything with Stadia, which is one of the things I'm most excited about with all this. They're saying Destiny is coming. I'm really excited about it.
See, I've been hearing people complain about Stadia.
So tell us about Stadia, because I actually have no information other than the fact that it's a streaming.
Stadia is from Google.
Google service.
Google has all the money in the world, so they'll get it right.
Google does have the money.
Essentially, you could buy into Stadia now, but eventually it won't be free, but kinda. So there's a Founders Pack you can pre-order. It comes out, I think, in November. It comes with the Chromecast Ultra, which is their 4K Chromecast. Comes with a controller. Comes with 3 months of their premium service, which works like an Xbox Live or a PS Plus, where you get a couple free games a month that they will rotate. And as long as you keep it, you keep all the free games. The thing that the premium does is it lets you stream 4K. If you don't pay for the premium, most you can do is 1080.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, shit. That's actually... Okay. Great deal so far.
It's going to be free other than that, though?
Right. So now, that's the only way to play it this year. Next year, they're rolling out their normal Stadia service, which you could stream up to 1080 for free. You have to pay for the game, but you don't have to pay the $10 a month to do anything with it. Like, that's just for your 4K capability.
So it's gonna be similar to if you had, like, PS... Whatever the...
PSN.
Whatever. PSN, that's it. So it's going to be similar to that where pay for the game, don't pay for the service.
Right. Like, and from... I could be wrong, but from everything I'm understanding, like, you don't need to pay for that to play online games like Xbox Live and PlayStation. Like,
now, is that going to be its own separate, like, service? Is it going to have the same games that are on consoles and PC, or is it going to be only its own first-party games?
It's going to have everything. They have a partnership with Ubisoft, which I'm pretty excited about, but there's a couple games like... you saw Stadia a bunch at the conferences, like it's coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, Stadia. Like third parties are going there.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Like, can you play Call of Duty on it, or is it just going to be exclusive?
They didn't say anything about Call of Duty yet. I'm sure they will.
I'm just using that as a generic option.
Yeah, but like it's getting third parties, and they hired Jade Raymond, who is a big one from EA, like for their own studio. So like they hired their own people, so they are making their own first party Google Stadia games.
Okay,
but it will be third party. I'm super stoked about it.
Are you buying into the Founders Pack or?
I want to.
Okay.
I'm not going to for one reason. I don't have 4K TV, so me getting a 4K Chromecast and paying for the 4K service when I don't have it's just a waste of money for me to get this early adopter. So.
Sure.
Yes, that would be a little counterintuitive.
Yeah, and
or maybe it'll motivate you to get a 4K TV.
Yeah, maybe. What confuses me being a dummy with networking, Stadia, they have a controller, but right now you need their controller. But what they're saying is you can connect any kind of controller, like through USB, to use Stadia. The difference is their controller through Wi-Fi connects directly with their server, so there's less latency. Your USB goes into your network and out to theirs. I don't understand how your controller is not going to connect to your device. It's just going to connect to their server. That's just a little...
It's just removing one hop. So generally speaking, your controller connects to the device, and the device would connect to wherever this game is playing, right? What they're saying, you're just taking that the one hop to the device.
It just sounds so weird to me that if I have my iPad or tablet, whatever is in front of me, and I'm playing Stadia, my controller is not connected to my device. It's connected to the Stadia app, and it's just going to like their cloud.
It is interesting. It is a little gimmicky, I feel, because reducing
it's a gimmick to get $60 from them. Otherwise, you just buy the games and they make whatever off that.
I don't imagine that single hop is going to help that much. Though, that being said, with streaming, latency is obviously the biggest concern.
Everything I've been reading about Stadia, because they're showing it at E3, like people are coming away pretty impressed that in a crowded convention area that is known for bad reception, it's running pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, but again, like you said, Google can pay for the best. I actually am always a skeptic of that sort of thing. Whether it be working really well or really poorly, whatever happens at one of those showings, I just assume is a lie.
But, like some sort of just canned video or something like that.
Like or just that if the thing is breaking badly, like I assume that that there's something else going on, that someone fucked up in setting it all up. Or if it's working super perfectly, I just assume that they dumped 3 times the amount of resources into it that the average person would get to them. You know what I mean? Like, you could have phenomenal internet and you're never going to have a connection the way they have set up at one of those things. Because the whole point is they want to sell you on it.
Sure.
And they are controlling the environment in a way that they can't in real life.
Now, were there specific Stadia announcements that you watched or read?
Yeah, I mean, when they had the event like a week before E3, and I read most of the stuff that happened. There were some game announcements, like Baldur's Gate 3 got announced.
I saw that.
Yeah.
But I'm just more excited about the promise of eventually... I'm traveling. I don't need to worry about what I have. I have my phone and a controller. And
That's pretty big
I can
for
play
you.
the best new game. And also, I always have a console. New console comes out, I buy it. If Stadia does what it promises,
you won't need it.
You don't really need to buy a console.
Well,
the
unless
best
there's
quality
first-party things that you want.
Sure.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, theoretically, to play your Call of Duty every year, your Assassin's Creed, whatever it is, you can just get the latest and greatest on Stadia for no upfront cost for something to play it. You just buy the game and play.
That is pretty wild.
Yeah.
I am very curious. So, was it Bethesda that announced Orion?
Yes. Yeah.
So their cloud streaming service, and the way they spoke about it, the things that they were talking about made a lot of sense to me. It sounded like they figured out some special way of doing this. I'm curious how that pairs.
If Bethesda has shown us anything over the years, is they know how to make buggy messes. So.
That is very true. That's fair. I will never forget. So okay.
We'll eventually get to Aladdin. We promise.
We will. My old roommate, Michael Warren.
Well, again, this proves, Brian, that you don't listen to us because we frequently go over an hour before we get to the movie.
I listen every week.
There's my old roommate, Michael Warren. He was playing Skyrim, super into it, and man, he was pouring hours into it. He was pouring hours into it before we were living together, so he had a lot of time in this game. There was a point where he came out of his room, he walked down the hallway, walked into the kitchen, shaking his head angrily. He had progressed his game to a point where it autosaved, and he would open a door and get killed. He was autosaved within the opening animation of the door, and he would die, and there was nothing he could do about it. and I've never seen someone so defeated and angry at a video game, but that seems to be a bit of a trend with them.
They make janky games, and it's just, that's Bethesda. It's charming.
Yeah.
No, you know what they are? Is they're Michael Bolton from Office Space. Oh, I always just forget, but the one mundane detail. It's not a mundane detail.
I'm not too big into Bethesda as a publisher. There's not too much of theirs that I really like. Although I still want to play Doom, like the rebooted Doom. I haven't played that yet.
Oh no, that was
it looks awesome. Doom Eternal looks awesome.
I heard it was fun. I heard it was pretty quick. It was kind of dumb, but I heard it was a fun game.
I did like the reboot to Wolfenstein.
Mm-hmm.
The new one coming out looks pretty cool.
The thing is, I never played. I played a bit of Oblivion, but it was like one of those things where it's like I was in college, our suite mate was playing it. Like I was sitting in the room watching him, and I was like, I don't know if I would necessarily love this. And I was watching him one day, and something happened where he's he had to get up and leave for 10 or 15 minutes, and he's like, oh, just keep playing. I was like, I have no idea what you're fucking doing. I've never played this game before. He goes, just figure it out. It'll be fine. I'll be back in a few.
Are you sure you were in college when Oblivion was getting played?
Yes.
Okay.
Oblivion's the one before Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yes.
I feel like Skyrim was 9 years ago.
It wasn't. It was 5.
5, maybe 6.
Really?
Yeah. I was I will look it up for you.
Oblivion came out in I want to say 2005, 2006, and that was in the fall of 2009.
Oh, I'm closer than you guys.
You are. Skyrim was November 11, 2011.
Yeah, but this was literally 2 years before that.
I also was getting Oblivion and Morrowind mixed up in my head.
Morrowind, man, I really loved that game.
I've never played an Elder Scrolls game except for the mobile one, Blades, that came out recently.
Yeah, so I played 15 minutes of Oblivion, didn't love it. Was my first blush was oh, I feel like I wouldn't like this game. I was correct. I played it for 15 minutes. I was like, this is not what I really want to be playing. I never played Fallout, none of that. People have talked up the Fallout games a ton.
Never
not my thing.
I played New Vegas because that was at a time in my life when anything with Vegas sounded interesting.
You were addicted to gambling at one point.
Yes.
That's a true story.
Yes. But I didn't really care for it. Fallout 4, one of our friends, Matt, remember he was trying to get us to play that. I couldn't care. Fallout 76, no, thank you.
But I know that Fallout 3 was really well regarded. I just never played it.
Well, so is New Vegas, and the original Fallout's 1 and 2. Like, people liked the stories. It was a weird perspective on it. It wasn't like your Fallout 3, but I don't know. One day I'll play through these games.
Yeah. What are some announcements though that got you really jazzed up?
Uplay Plus was really interesting to me. Ubisoft's my favorite publisher.
Okay.
And now they have a subscription. I think it was $15 a month. I didn't prepare or make any notes. And you get their whole catalog, but they partnered with Stadia, and it's only on PC and Stadia. It's not on Xbox. It's not on PlayStation. So now this thought in my head is eventually I'll have Stadia on my phone, and I'll have all these amazing Ubisoft games on my phone, and I can't wait.
Then you'll be done.
Ubisoft was Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six.
All Tom Clancy games.
Yeah,
I thought that was the case.
Which that was a bummer for me, though.
I played a bit of one of the Splinter Cells. I don't even remember which one.
The last one I think was Blacklist, and I enjoyed that a lot.
No, this was like a while back.
I would have bet money they would announce a new Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
And they did not.
I was bummed because I you know what's funny? Ryan McCaffrey always gets me excited about the potential for a new Splinter Cell. And because I loved those games. I will never forget playing the first one the first time and being like, this is amazing.
The original Splinter Cell in my head gets mixed up with Siphon Filter.
That's pretty
Yes, absolutely.
That's funny. Oh my god. What was... You just dropped a brick on my foot. Is that your phone?
Just a phone.
Jesus. Yeah, so that was a shame. Do you think... Will we get another one at some point?
Well, there was that tweet that you have to assume was true. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, but they also put and they've been putting Sam Fisher in things here and there.
Yeah, so they got... his name is escaping me, but the voice actor that did Sam Fisher came
Ironside.
back... Yeah, Michael Ironside, thank you. He recorded lines...
Wait, his name is Ironside?
Yeah, Michael Ironside. He went into the studio.
You're gonna do voices for video games. It's been decided by your name.
Yeah.
There was like a limited time event in Ghost Recon Wildlands, and Michael Ironside went into the studio and recorded lines for this. So people are saying there's no way they're gonna pay him to come in to just record lines for this. They have to be making a new Splinter Cell. Nothing, and that was...
You'd be surprised. A lot of these voice actors are they're whores. You look at some of the voice actors who are in that from video games. What's
Nolan
Jim
North,
Cummings?
Troy
Is that
Baker,
his name?
those two
He's
are
got
everywhere.
450 credits.
Well, I know Nolan North and Troy Baker in every game.
Mm-hmm.
Nolan
I
North
love
has
both
been
of
in a
them.
million games. Yeah.
We'll get to Nolan North and Troy Baker a little later.
Claudia Black's been in a billion games.
Yeah. Man, so, did you play Wildlands?
Yeah, I actually was just playing Wildlands last night.
Oh, what do you playing on PlayStation these days?
Yeah.
Oh, we should sync up.
I mean, I turned my PlayStation on for the first time last night since I moved into the house.
Nice.
So, yeah. Nice. I played Watch Dogs 2 for 10 minutes and Wildlands for 10 minutes.
Did you like Watch Dogs 2?
Yes.
I didn't fully get into the first one, and
I beat the first one. I loved the first one, even though most people hate it. I mean, I didn't care about the character, but I just liked the game. It was fun.
Okay.
Watch Dogs 2 is a little weird because it's more lighthearted. Then you go and just shoot up people, and it's little weird disconnect. I mean, you don't have to shoot people, but you give me a gun, I'm going to shoot people. Now, in a game.
Three sounds like it has some really cool mechanics. I will say that
I am terrified of these
playing
mechanics.
as the old lady sounds really fun to me.
I am terrified by these mechanics, though. It's not going to work.
I don't think it's going to be
for
good.
which game?
Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to work. Every NPC is not going to be fully voiced and animated and have these cutscenes like they're saying. It's not.
It's going to be the equivalent of the entire environment is destructible.
Crackdown?
I didn't play it.
Well, that was the thing with that. But anyway, what it's gonna be one of two things. Either it's gonna be completely broken, or it's gonna be like your sports game, how you look in the stands and every 10th person is the same.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something like that.
That's what I would expect.
They've gotten better at that. It's now 1 in every 15.
I mean, Al, come on.
Unless they could randomly generate their actions, if they could create enough
But what they're saying is, if I see you on the street, I want to recruit you. You have some kind of origin mission that's fully animated to get on my crew.
That's insane.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
There's no way.
You're gonna go on a mission to prove them wrong. You're going to recruit every single... Can you recruit every character in the game?
They said you can.
Do you win? Is that winning?
No, winning, I think, is like taking back London.
Now, okay, follow me down this journey. If you recruit all of the characters...
Right, does that mean you can recruit a bad guy? Can a guy be shooting at me and be like, I'm just going to hack you and now you're with me? Like, does that work?
Is he shooting at you? Hey, why don't you fight for us instead? All right. Like, there's got to be some sort of catch.
I loved Watch Dogs 1.
Well, it said NPC. Oh, no, they're all NPCs.
They're all NPCs. Non-playable characters.
But that
doesn't even make sense now.
PCs. I don't understand.
Every NPC could be a whatever. Forget it. It's gonna be broken. It's gonna be a mess.
Let's just settle on semi-playable characters, okay? Sometimes they're playable, sometimes they're non-playable.
Sure.
Okay, so how do you feel about Ghost Recon John Barenthal?
I thought the
Shane edition.
I thought the conference was weird with him. I feel like he made a moving speech as his video game character, and then came out and made almost the same speech.
Yep, he said the same things.
It was weird. Yeah. I love him as an actor.
I feel like he's kind of a weird dude.
I thought that dog was going to lose its mind.
That dog it was the most well-trained dog ever. But I kind of... I don't know, did you play Wildlands?
I played the beta. I didn't actually get into the game.
And so he was in Wildlands DLC.
Oh.
Like that character. I am nowhere near close to Wildlands. I didn't get to that. But I almost wish, like, you were him instead of he's the bad guy. Because in Wildlands, I don't know how this is going to work. But in Wildlands, like, you don't really have interactions with people for that long. And I like him as an actor, so I'd rather just be playing as him than... Let's eventually see a cutscene with him and then fight him. I don't know.
Speaking of famous characters, how do you feel about... That was out of nowhere. Yeah.
I thought that trailer was bad, but I'm still excited.
The trailer was bad. I'm interested. Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, Always Sunny fame.
His
Mythic Quest.
Mythic Quest. No, but it's a longer name than that. Yeah, it's got like a subtitle.
It says the subtitle.
Wait, Max in a video game?
Yeah.
No, he's in a show.
He came out during Ubi's conference. So I was watching the conference, kind of working, kind of watching the conference. All of a sudden I hear like music. I'm like, I know this music. I know this. What the hell is this? I'm like, that's Always Sunny. And I look, and there's Mac walking out. I'm like, what is he doing? I mean, there's always like celebrity. I mean, he's not really a celebrity, but whatever.
Usually it's Charlie.
Yeah. And he walks out, and pretty much they're making a show about like a game dev, and he's a creative director, just like the shenanigans in the office as they're pushing out this expansion to the most popular game. It's almost like a World of Warcraft kind of game. And
it's Silicon Valley video games.
Yeah, and it's a comedy show, but like the trailer wasn't that funny.
No, it wasn't. But the concept sounds fun.
Yeah, the concept is great. I'm super on board.
Yeah,
I mean, it's locked behind a paywall that I'm probably not going to pay, but it's like an Apple Plus.
I appreciate you being honest about it.
Yeah, I'll eventually catch it somewhere. But I don't know. I don't know much about Apple Plus stuff.
Sure.
I don't know. It doesn't. Whatever.
Have some interesting things, but.
Were you getting to the bigger celebrity?
I was getting to the bigger. Keanu Reeves coming out on stage was friggin' phenomenal.
For Cyberpunk?
Yes.
Did you guys hear what his role in the game kind of is?
No.
He's essentially like Cortana in Halo.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I just hope at some point in that ridiculously large game, I need to be driving down the road and hit something, and I need him to yell into my ear, "Cans." It was cans.
Why not? If he could rehash the line about guns, lots of guns, why can't he rehash that line? or they could throw out, "He's not coming back."
Oh my god, that was a really cool thing though. That Cyberpunk trailer was fun. I enjoyed it. I've been kind of interested in the game. That trailer made me more interested in it, and then him coming out was just a nice little cherry on top.
My problem.
I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, God.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna be honest. Him playing Cortana is perfect, and it just snapped something into my mind. Is he the next generation's like Sam Elliott, where he's just gonna be like that, like wise, like leader,
The
like
wise
mentor,
voice.
like dispenser of wisdom, like that, like the voice of the new age. Like, is he gonna be this generation Sam Elliott? Is that what's happening right now?
Maybe.
Like,
We'll
he's just
find out.
the sage for all things. Because I feel like anytime it's like, we need some sort of like sage like wisdom for just like one scene. Who can we get? Sam Elliott. Boom, done. Like, going back to Big Lebowski, he basically reprised the same role in Parks and Rec. He's done that thing. He does all the car commercial, the beer commercial. You know what I mean? Like,
Just that soothing voice in the background.
is it going to be like, is Keanu the next one? Is he taking up the mantle?
Keanu is the Steven Seagal we deserve. That's what we're getting. That's what we're getting right now.
But still worse of an actor.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Let me defend my comment.
No, you don't get to defend that comment.
I love Keanu Reeves. I love the movies
If
with
you
him
love
that I've
Keanu Reeves,
seen.
you would never. If you love Keanu Reeves, you would never compare him unfavorably to Steven fucking Seagal.
I think Keanu Reeves, his movies are great in spite of his acting. I feel like he's a terrible actor.
Well, no, he's not a great actor, but he's also not a terrible actor either. Steven Seagal is a terrible actor.
I mean, now that he's all bloated and shit when he's doing his fighting scenes, he's still making movies. It's pretty fun to
That
watch.
certainly doesn't help, but
Oh my god. Do you think that game's gonna be any good?
I do, but my problem with that game is it's too big for me.
Yeah, I get
don't
that.
have the time anymore to sit down and finish that game. And that's a bummer to me.
I've tried to play The Witcher like 4 times.
It's coming to the Switch now, though.
I know, but every time I tried to play it, I would get like a little bit into it, and then the world would start to open up, and I'd be like, nah.
that was part of the reason I was always afraid of the Elder Scrolls games too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
same here. Like I can't sit on a console anymore and just play through these big things. That's why I love my Switch, and that's why I'm super stoked about Stadia. If I have a half-hour downtime at work and Cyberpunk's on the Stadia, I could play for a half
That's
hour
true.
here, a half hour there.
See, I didn't get to see even the actual trailer for Cyberpunk. I saw part of the Keanu press conference right after they showed the bit with him in it. But I
he was
still didn't
awesome
get to
on
sit
stage.
down
He
and
really
watch the
was.
whole thing.
You
But
were
again, that's kind
breathtaking.
of. I didn't realize that was like the deal. I still don't know much about the game, honestly, other than just like the whole aesthetic that it's
It's a
inspiring to.
third-person action RPG, from my understanding.
But that's the same thing that honestly, like, I'm like, even though as intrigued about it as I am, that's kind of what I'm afraid of with Death Stranding. Like, that, it just looks like it's too much.
No interest.
Like, I feel like I'll just never be able to do it.
I'll play it with you guys.
I can't wait to
I
play
have
that
no
game.
interest in that game.
That
See,
game
I
is
feel
gonna
like I would
be-
have fun watching someone play that game, but I don't know if once I actually got into it, I'm sure I'd have fun with it, but I feel like I can't get to the point of getting over the hump of, oh my god, I'm afraid of this game, to I'm in the game. You know what I mean?
I feel like
I'll
that
watch
entire
Anthony play.
game is going to be the entire game is going to be the first hour of you and me playing Phantom Pain. Just what is happening in this game right
We
now?
played Phantom Pain together?
Online, over chat with the fire whale.
Yeah, like the dude.
That was really weird.
That was a good game, though.
Oh,
It
the
was
Fire
good.
Whale. You were talking about that last week.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, okay. So moving on, other announcements that you're a fan of. So you had mentioned some famous voices. Let's talk a little bit about that Marvel game. Are you excited for it?
Yes, I'm really excited, but I'm just pretending I didn't really see the stuff at the conference. Like, just the idea of the game excites me.
Yeah.
It
It was not presented well. I don't.
No, and there's a lot of backlash, which they addressed recently, that people on the redesign, the people like, I don't have a problem with that. It's not the MCU. Don't make it look like like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans. No, it's their vision. I'm fine with how they look. Yeah, the first time Tony Stark talked, the voice threw me a little bit, and I love Nolan North. I think he's a great fit. He's sarcastic. He's awesome.
He is great
But it was a little jarring the first time
because you're
hearing
so
that.
used to it.
Yeah,
That's fair.
And then when the scene with him arguing with Banner, and he has like long hair, like that was weird too. But the game,
I was confused by that trailer because I wasn't sure if was that 100% cinematic or was there some gameplay in it.
There
the
was gameplay
bridge
cut
stuff
in.
was supposed to be gameplay.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure because there was no HUD and
Well,
like,
apparently
there
the
was-
HUD is really weird. So I read,
which would
a couple
explain why
different-
explain why they had nothing in it at all, because
Yeah.
and that's what was throwing me off, is like, this looks like a cinematic, this looks like gameplay, but they're not showing it jump between cinematic and HUD, so maybe it's all just cinematic. I can't get excited for a game that's just showing me cinematics. I gotta see what it's like when I'm actually playing the game.
I read this in two places. They said the HUD made it look like a mobile game. Like the way like the moves were on the screen.
Okay.
But if you think about it, there's always moves on. Like God of War had that too, and it didn't look like a mobile game. So I don't know.
Well, to parallel that, did you guys both?
They also have a
sit
year.
down and watch?
Right? Isn't it May?
Yeah, it is May.
Yeah.
It will probably get pushed.
So, kind of a parallel to that. Did you guys both get to sit down and watch the Jedi Fallen Order trailer?
Yeah, I didn't really watch the full half-hour thing because...
No. There was the 13-minute trailer.
Yeah, I watched that whole gameplay thing. I just didn't watch all the talking because people annoy me.
No, that's fine. Because all I'm asking you about is the trailer itself, so I don't care about the other stuff. I didn't get a chance to watch all of that either.
Yeah, I'm super on board, but to me, I know you disagreed. I said it didn't really look like Star Wars to me. Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah,
I
don't know where that's coming from. That it doesn't look like Star Wars. I don't know what you mean by that.
So Respawn is making it. Respawn made Titanfall. I played a lot of Titanfall, and like the wall running in Titanfall was exactly like when he ran across the wall. Like it just looked like they kind of like took what they made and just kind of put Star Wars over it.
Yeah, which is like, smart development, unlike what like EA's been doing with a lot of their stuff. But
well, it's still EA.
Yeah, EA owns Respawn.
I know it does. But what I'm saying is they've done a lot of that stuff, and instead of having them reusing what's already been using, they've been having all of them remake the wheel, which is why so many of their games have been failing, because they spent so much time redeveloping the wheel, using the wheel in a different thing. If you're going to force them all to use the fucking Frostbite engine, makes fucking sense. And I'm glad they finally let one of their developers do that.
I will point out that this year, so I don't finish a lot of games. I play a lot of games for a long time, and then I don't finish them. The most recent game that I finished was actually Titanfall 2, and I did it.
Well, that campaign was awesome.
It was amazing. It was so good. And I will say, during that game, when I was running on the wall, when I was jumping around, feeling very free and very floaty, I was like, I feel like a Jedi. And then
did you really?
I did.
Before you knew about Respawn Star Wars games?
Because like I had also been freshly watching some of the movies. But it's just like I almost wanted more power, and seeing if they're making it and like you're doing some of that stuff plus more, I can see it being a lot of
Respawn's super
fun.
talented.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the people that brought you Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. Like,
yeah,
those are the people behind that.
I'm excited for it.
Wait,
I'm
Respawn
excited.
didn't do Call of Duty, did they?
Vince Zampella and another guy whose name's slipping my brain. They left.
I wouldn't remember the people, but I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that was like Activision Infinity.
They left. To
Well,
form
they
Respawn.
left and they formed
Okay,
Respawn,
that makes
but
more
the
sense
major heads behind that,
Okay.
they made Respawn and made Titanfall.
Well, so the one thing I'll say is, if you were someone who played a ton of Titanfall or whatever, and like you enjoyed that, and then you see that mechanic dragged into Star Wars, I can understand that being a bit of a disconnect for you, or just being jarring for you, or whatever, and that's fine. That's just a matter of personal taste, and I won't say you're wrong or whatever with that.
But you're wrong.
No, but I was confused. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I interpreted what it was that you were saying as something completely different. Because the aesthetic of like all of what they showed you was 100% Star Wars. Sure, so I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
The music is what really ties it up for me. Yeah, I love that.
The music was classic Star Wars, absolutely.
Yeah, it's so good.
But more than just that, just like all of like the design of the things was very Imperial pre-Episode 4 stuff. Like it looks like Star Wars. If you're hung up on the wall running, fine. But again,
I'm hung
if
up
you
on other
can't see a
stuff,
Jedi doing that, if you can't see Jedi doing that, I'm not sure.
Getting past that, what are some of your other reservations?
My same problem with The Force Awakens, how Finn has a lightsaber fight with Ren, like it shouldn't work. Like, why is this Jedi having lightsaber fights with some souped up stormtrooper?
Like, well, this one makes more sense
Inquisitor,
because, Well, no, what they showed in the gameplay was not a full Inquisitor. I think it was an Inquisitor in training.
Okay.
Because there was only like 7 Inquisitors or something like that. And he killed like 3 of them in that trailer. But they had the Magna Guard, the power, like double staff that was from like episode 3 of Revenge of the Sith with the thing that was meant to catch lightsabers. I can understand that, Brian, but 2 things. 1, it's a video game and they always find ways to do that in every single Star Wars video game that's ever existed. And 2, it makes more sense than the Force Awakens thing because he was a incomplete Padawan. He had never graduated to full Jedi. And these people were being trained specifically for that purpose. I had a problem. I've gone back and forth with that whole thing with the Force Awakens, but when you consider the whole part of the whole situation, I still lean towards being irritated with it. But when he got shot with the, I guess, explosive crossbow in the ribs, like, I'm surprised that he walked away from that shot, considering we saw Han blow a stormtrooper halfway across a courtyard with one of those things. The fact that he's even standing after it's pretty incredible. Even though I ultimately kind of side 51-49 with you that Finn shouldn't be able to do that, you're absolutely right. But it's a video game. They've always found ways to scale that up. I don't view that as being an issue, and it's something they've done a million times in the Star Wars games.
Yeah, in games in general, any kind of like sword combat, I know lightsaber is not really...
It's a sword, you're fine.
Yeah, okay. It's tough to do.
Yeah.
Like,
how do you make it...
Yeah, how do you make it fun? How do you make it, they're just blocking every swing I do? It worries me. I'm excited, but I'm cautiously
It's all about balancing, so you have to suspend disbelief, because you're right. In a video game, no one should be able to stand before you. You should be able to mow through them. Mm-hmm. But then there would be no challenge, and then the game wouldn't be any fun.
I almost feel like it should be a Dynasty Warriors clone. You just
that would be cool. Are you just ripping people apart? Yeah. That would be pretty amazing. I will say I'm interested. I'm excited to play it. I'm not like getting overhyped about it, and that's only because there hasn't been a great Star Wars game in a long time.
There hasn't even been a good one in a long time.
I will even say I don't think there's been a great one. I'm not big on KOTOR.
Well, that's just wrong.
KOTOR is amazing. My favorite Star Wars game is Jedi Power Battles on the PlayStation.
I don't know that one.
It was like an arcadey game. You could play co-op, and it was like a kind of like a 2.5D look. Okay. And you would travel through, and you would just. It was like a beat 'em up, but you were Jedi. You could play as Mace Windu. Like, it was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
One of the most fun I had was on the N64. Do you know where I'm going yet?
Maybe.
Shadows?
What'd you say, Al?
Shadows of the Empire?
No.
I love that game so much.
Pod Racers.
I love that game, too.
Oh, it's funny, because I was going to make a Pod Racers joke, too.
That game, they rebuilt that. You can get that on PC.
Yeah, there's a whole package on Steam.
And also there was something on the Jedi Knight 2 and Jedi Knight 3 I enjoyed. 2 was better. But
wait, there was a 3?
Yeah, Jedi Knight 3, Jedi Academy.
I never played that.
Oh, okay. I just think of it as Jedi Academy. I didn't even realize it was Jedi Knight 3.
Those were fun games.
I liked The Force Unleashed, the first one.
I liked
I didn't
both
play
of them.
It.
They were different. They were distinctly different experiences, which is weird.
I also put many hours into the MMO they put out back in the day when you had to pay monthly for it before it went free to play.
Wait, the Old Republic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not Galaxies from years and years and years ago? There's an old MMO.
No. Well, and there's a mobile game, Galaxy Heroes. I spent a lot of time on that.
One of those.
I enjoyed Rogue... Was it Rogue Squadron on
GameCube.
GameCube,
yeah.
Oh, I played it on the original one on N64.
No, the one on GameCube after that. I don't think it was an update. I think it was a completely separate.
It was a new game.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was a new game.
That was good too.
I enjoyed that one.
Their fighter games have been good.
Yeah, but
Jedi
also
Starfighter was awesome.
I just remember Yoda and Vader maybe being in. Oh god, the series is slipping my brain now too. Come back to me.
All right.
Well, I was gonna say, circling back to your thought that there was never a great Star Wars game. Did you not play the original Battlefront and Battlefront 2? Because Battlefront 2
I did. We loved them. We played
true.
them, but I don't know.
Wait, hang on. You were talking original.
Yeah, like the...
We played those together?
Yeah, because it was... You could do cross-platform, Xbox and PC, so I played on my PC to play with you.
Old days.
Yep.
Man,
those games were phenomenal.
I don't remember. One was the second one better? Like much better?
There was just.
The first one was very good, but the second one was better.
You're right. I played significant hours into that game. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I do remember playing, like learning how to snipe in this courtyard level. That was just unbelievable.
There was a 3?
I don't think so.
No, they started developing one and they killed it eventually. Everyone was really upset about it because it was like, I can't think of this. There was a ton of hype for it. Everyone loved it too.
I constantly Knights of the Old Republic constantly pops into my mind, and I'm like, oh man, I have such fond memories of that game, and then I try to play it again, and I'm like, nope. It's actually Knights of the Old Republic was a good game.
Yeah, I've heard that it didn't age well.
It did not age well.
Tough for that to happen.
Granted, if they wanted to remake that today, you best believe that'll be the next game I pre-order. Oh.
Soul Calibur, like 4 maybe. Vader and Yoda were in. So strange. I'll look that up.
Oh, that's weird. It's the same thing, and I guess it's funny because they're both BioWare games, but like the original Mass Effect, the original Dragon Age, they don't hold up. From a gameplay perspective, at least.
Yeah.
And it's a tough slog if that's what you want to get into. But I will go back to them occasionally just because I love them so very much.
Sure. No, that's fair. Marvel Avengers teaser trailer didn't really, or game, whatever it was. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Who is he fighting in this?
That's Soul Calibur.
Nightmare. Character. It's Yoda fighting Nightmare in Soul Calibur. The Marvel Avengers, I'm excited for the game. Wasn't excited for what they showed. I didn't think they did a very good job of marketing it. That being said, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Oh yeah,
that looked really good. The artwork in that game looks amazing, and I can't wait to play it.
Before that, are you worried about the microtransactions, the game and service, all that stuff they're saying is in Marvel's Avengers?
Am I paying for the game up front?
Yes.
Then no, I'm not afraid of it.
Why?
I just feel like it's not going to be.
I just feel
something
like
I need. I do not spend extra money in those types of games.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to. Like, I mean,
do you?
Yeah, like so. The original Destiny and even Destiny 2, like they came out as some call incomplete games. Like the DLC made them complete. Like, what if this is something like that? I guess it depends
on how much. I won't be concerned until.
I'm not concerned when they say DLC and microtransactions. I'm concerned when they say games as a service. That's what concerns me.
I'm not overly. They want that game to last for a long time.
Sure, but just calling it a game as service, that makes me think at launch I'm not getting a full game.
Sure.
By the time it's a full game, I'll probably have moved on. Like
that's fair. There's probably a way to do it right. I don't know that it's necessarily been done.
I think the way to do it is wait a year until they're done and add everything, then go play it.
Yeah, unless you're getting this stuff does cost a lot of money. It does take a lot of time, so I'm open to the concept as long as if I don't feel while I'm playing it that it's half a game, fine.
I'd rather just pay more for a game up front and get a full game. Like $60 is cheap. Price hasn't changed in years.
True, it hasn't. It's kind of gone down. I feel like there were times when I paid for an N64 cart that was more than that.
Maybe I remember paying more for Donkey Kong because it came with the expansion pack.
You're right. You're right. Though the price of games has not inflated with the actual real world inflation,
right? Especially with the production value.
Which is why I think they're moving towards this model because I think they think they're going to trick you into doing it. I think they're afraid that if they instead of it being $60, it's $70. I think they're afraid you're not going to buy it. But if you pay $60 and then keep paying $1 occasionally, and then you've spent $150, like you're going to not notice, which is true with some people, I guess, but I don't think it's true with the majority of people, and I think that they keep mistaking that that's the case. I don't understand it, why this has to be a thing. I totally agree with you guys. This whole microtransaction thing makes precisely zero sense to me.
I'm okay with microtransactions if it doesn't affect anything. Like, if it's like, let's
cosmetics
make the character look different.
Yeah, cosmetics. If you want to do that, totally on board with it. And I was good with the model of, having like expansions and DLCs and expansion packs for like if you could buy like the one-time thing for like RPG type games where like you would get like extra like things or whatever, not online games, because when it becomes pay to play, it makes precisely 0 sense to me.
Yeah, that's fair. So that was the Marvel's Avengers game. That's from Square.
Yeah.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Crystal Dynamics is the one making it.
Oh. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
The art there.
Did you pre-order it yet?
I did not pre-order it because I'm gonna download it.
You can pre-order it digitally.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So how much is it?
$60.
Brian has bought me 2/3 of that game.
It's so at the show they announced a DLC plan already.
Oh, really?
I think there's like 3 things. I think it was like X-Men related, maybe. I didn't pay too much attention to that, and that's $20. So you can pre-order the game, you could buy that, or you could buy it together for no discount. It's weird, like they like advertised it as like, oh, get them together, but it's just like 60 plus 20.
Yeah, well, when I see things like that, it's like you can get this for 30 and this for 30, or both for 60, and I'm like, okay.
I mean, I don't care paying.
They
full
could really
price.
blow your mind if they sold it for 61.
Oh my god.
Like, I don't need the discount, but it's just weird that they market it that way. But yeah, it's $20 for the expansion pass for them.
All right.
I don't remember. I think they said exactly what it's adding. I just don't remember.
I will be pre-ordering that. Sticking on the Switch. Have you played the other Luigi's Mansion games?
I played the 3DS one. I did not play the GameCube one. I think it was GameCube.
I think
3DS
I had
the game was 2.
Yeah. I don't remember the 3DS one was a remake of the original or if it was a sequel. I don't know, but it was really fun.
Okay.
You know the crazy thing is I had the GameCube one and I don't think I ever played it for a single second because
I
think I got intimidated by it by the like what we were talking about earlier with like Cyberpunk or Death Stranding or whatever. I think I was intimidated and never got around to actually playing it.
I'm probably gonna buy that one because I've never played them before. So it seems like something fun, something different.
The one I had on 3DS, really really fun.
I never played Final Fantasy VII.
I could not give a shit about that game.
So
Eris died. That's all I know.
Spoilers.
That game came out like almost 20 years ago.
So, as I said, I've never played Final Fantasy VII, but the reveal of that and how it plays actually looked interesting to me. I might get it and try it. I don't know that I will. They said something about 2 Blu-ray discs worth of content. That's a lot.
Well, the first one was a 60-hour game or something like that.
It was like 4 CDs. I don't know.
But all right, I get it's a remake. Mm-hmm. From my understanding, the combat is completely different. It wasn't like a real-time combat the first time around. It was turn-based, like traditional, like Final Fantasy kind of thing. Which, as a kid, I hated that. As an adult, I kind of love turn-based. So if this was a remake, like shot-for-shot remake, and it was turn-based combat, I'd probably be on board. I just don't feel like running. Like, they showed that boss fight with that, like, metal, like, crab thing, whatever that... Yeah. That just looks so tedious of, like, knocking its health down so little for so long. And you could see, like, it wasn't a fluid scene. Like, they cut out, like, little bits here. Like, way too long, and I don't have the patience.
I feel like they said you could play it either way, unless I misunderstood what they were saying.
I don't know.
You can also just download 7 right now, couldn't you? Did they release?
Like, it's everywhere. It's on your phone. It's everywhere.
Okay. Anyway, I am kind of curious about that. I will see how it's received when it comes out. Anything above a 7, and I might give it a go.
I probably won't play it.
Battletoads.
It looks pretty fun.
It doesn't. It looks really.
It's co-op.
The artwork was great again.
Yeah, that's a remake, right? It's not a sequel.
It just feels like a new, just like a new,
like a reimagining.
Yeah.
Are they? I haven't read anything about Battletoads yet. Did you ever play the original?
Yes.
All right, so you know, like the motorbike thing, how it was impossible.
Yes.
Are they gonna do that again?
Yes.
Oh, they are.
They showed clips of it.
Really?
Of the bikes. When they do it in the forward perspective.
Totally blanked on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty crazy. They also showed it with multiple people playing at the same time. Seemed like it was out of control.
I'm excited about that, but I don't have any way to play that. It's on PC?
Well, isn't it Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it's first party Xbox, then you'll get it on PC.
You gonna make me a new one?
I will help you make a new one.
Yeah, I pay.
I really enjoy making them.
I don't. Want to
then I just don't really do much with it.
I don't play games on my PC anymore.
What other announcements need to be spoken
about? One of the things I'm most excited about, if you guys had a chance to look at what I wrote the other day, a game no one asked for, including myself, but now I just can't wait for, is the mobile game that Ubisoft announced.
I want to play that!
Any excuse to be Sam Fisher.
Yep.
Awesome. Love mobile games.
What was it called?
Wait, what is the game?
Strike something?
Tom Clancy's something. It's so amazing I can't even remember. But it looks like a normal bullshit mobile game, but I can't wait.
Elite Squad.
I think I might have just hit the space bar and that screw anything up on your computer.
Let's see. We're still recording? We're good. Tom Clancy's Elite Squad.
Al, did you have a chance to see this?
No. I didn't see any of this, honestly.
It looks like a cartoony version of all Tom Clancy's characters. So it had, I can't think of any names, but like it had Sam Fisher, it had the guy from Wildlands, it had some people from Rainbow Six. It looks like a bullshit ass mobile game.
See, the funny thing is you say it has all the Tom Clancy characters, and I could rattle off a list of 15 names, but you're not going to know any of the names, and you could give me 15 names, and I'm not going to know any of those names.
No.
Because I read all the Clancy books, but I haven't played most of the games. And there really isn't any carryover between the two.
I felt like his books were hard to get into.
Yeah.
They're very detail-oriented.
They sure are. That was like his defining characteristic as like a human being. Was attention to detail.
Yeah, I think you might be wrong with that.
No, it's not. So here's the thing. I was just looking up Galahad and Rainbow Six. So I'm not wrong about it. I don't know that they got the license to it. I imagine that's what's going on here. They revealed a DLC character for Rainbow Six. Mm-hmm. It is Colin Firth with a mustache.
Colin Firth doesn't have a mustache in the movie.
No. But it's Colin Firth with a mustache in a suit. And the music that played is the music from Kingsman.
Is it?
It is 100% because before they even showed the character, I was like, I know that music. That's from Kingsman. And then they showed the character, I was like, I'm all sorts of confused.
And you're sure it wasn't the music from the King's Speech?
Right, so
wildly different game.
You watched that
but
reveal.
both have Colin Firth.
Yes.
You watched that reveal. You and I played the beta. I have the game. I play it from time to time still. Didn't it look shitty? Like the graphics?
It looks shitty.
But playing the game, it doesn't look shitty when you play the game. But like, it just looked.
It looked bad. Yeah, it was
It looked like a PS3 game.
Yep.
But
almost made me think maybe it was a joke.
Yeah.
A joke reveal.
But that is a fun game. And that gets me really excited about the co-op game they're going to be putting out, which is separate from Siege.
I'm pretty sure that there is a clip of us playing the game and me blowing myself up trying to learn the controls.
Probably. I still play that game, but I don't play with anyone. I don't play with anyone. That's a multiplayer game. I don't play with anyone. This? I do Terrorist Hunt, Lone Wolf, play by myself, lose every time, but it's fun.
I'll play with you.
You don't have the game.
I'll get the game. I have PS4 now.
It's always on sale.
All right.
Terrorist Hunt's all I play. I do not play online multiplayer.
Let me ask you this. You can change your name on PSN now.
No, I did not change my name.
What?
I did not change
No, you can.
Yeah, but
I know you're going to be doofus for life forever. What... Is it safe? I know there's issues. Can I change it and be safe?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't.
Have you read some bad stuff?
Yeah, I mean, most games coming out now are supposed to support it, but whatever.
Too dangerous?
What do you
Too
have?
risky?
I don't even remember.
It's Ann Twizzy with 3 C's.
Whatever, deal with it. Deal with it.
All right, fair enough. Any other E3 topics you want to talk about?
Contra's back.
Contra's back? Ooh.
Maybe? It looks weird.
What was that announcement?
The new Contra game.
I think I missed it.
I don't remember what it was called, but it was a new Contra game.
Is that why they released the whole...
Yeah, so they showed a trailer for the new Contra game, then it was like, oh, by the way, Anniversary Collection
okay.
now. but it looks weird. There's like a panda shooting things. Looks weird.
I don't understand.
But I like Contra, so as weird as it looks, I'll definitely give it a try.
I want to play Broforce again.
We had some good times.
We had some good times with this game. Al, have you played Broforce?
No.
Broforce is like it's like Contra-like shooting, but basically
it's a ripoff of all like 80s and 90s like action stars.
Like you are so clearly the Terminator, or so clearly RoboCop, or so clearly Blade. But
their names
are completely different. And every time you die, you come back as a new 80s action hero.
Yeah, like the main people you were like it wasn't really the likeness, but it did look like them, like Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, Chuck Norris.
Wait, the names were completely different, or were they like punny versions?
They were
of
parodies.
Oh no, they were punny. Yeah,
they were parodies of it.
Okay,
it was good.
It's fun.
Because if the Terminator wasn't like the Burninator or something like that.
Yeah, something stupid like that. We should as a group we should Spinchoon stream that game.
I still have the camera I bought for that one stream we did.
That was fun.
I fell asleep.
We had so much White Castle.
So much beer.
You had 2 beers for you is a lot. Sorry. Anything else before we move on to our flick?
So EA
Wait, we're doing a movie?
EA went, I can't speak now. EA went first, and Star Wars is cool. The rest was all kind of whatever. Microsoft Gears looks pretty cool.
So people were kind of annoyed by the Gears.
Well, because it comes out in September, and they didn't show any gameplay.
I know, but that was a really cool.
But it went on for a long time.
It did,
but it looks cool.
But yeah.
Nothing else really from Microsoft really.
That was awesome.
As far as I'm concerned, Gears of War and Halo both ended at 3.
Okay, I didn't get what you meant at first, but now I do. Gotcha.
Wait, what? I thought it was pretty self-explanatory.
It is, but yeah.
It's late and Brian's tired.
Yeah.
Move on.
Alright,
so that was Microsoft. Then what do we have? Bethesda? Then Ubisoft?
Yeah, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Kind of Funny
Direct.
did one.
Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo.
And
then
Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh yeah, I texted you about that.
That's pretty cool. And actually the
reveal was cute.
Yeah.
Cute's not the right word, but that's what came out of my mouth.
Wait, are you talking about Banjo?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the cool reveal, I really liked the Breath of the Wild sequel reveal that they did.
I have a problem with that.
What was that?
It looks like Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
In the same.
Imagine that.
What?
I said, imagine that.
Right, but in the same way that Majora's Mask looked like Ocarina.
Yeah.
And that was a year later. Why is this like, oh, we're making it, no date. Like, that should be like, hey, and we got it for you this fall. Like, it's the same engine. It looks the same.
That game is incredible. Breath of the Wild is an incredible game. I know you have some difficulty with it.
Yeah.
But
I'm too stupid.
I do think that with a sequel, it's going to improve upon it. It does have flaws. The game is not flawless. It has issues. It has some things that could be done better. And if they build upon what they've already laid down, that the next game should be a masterpiece. I don't know how they're going to pull it off. I don't know. It's not going to have that same fresh feel that Breath of the Wild had, right? Because that was the first time.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like Majora's Mask from Ocarina, like same
it
engine.
Was
like it was a year later.
Yeah, but it was the N64. Like it was. I don't know. I just feel like it was also very close in gameplay. Even if it's a lot of world to rework.
Was Breath of the Wild 2 years ago? When did Switch come out?
I think it was 2 years ago.
I don't know why 2015's in my head, but that's wrong.
Breath of the Wild, 2017, March 3rd.
Oh, okay.
That's, yeah.
So, yeah, you gotta really think they started development soon after that. The game should be done. Same engine. You're just writing a new story and animating it. Like, yeah, I'm making it sound more trivial than I know it is, but
I'm curious though, because at the very end of the trailer, you see it's kind of like rumbling underneath the castle. It almost looks like the castle is lifting.
Are they going to space?
Now that they're going to space, I wonder if they're going to do like a
Diddy
dark
Kong Racing
world.
went to space.
And I wonder if they're going to do like a Dark World, and it's actually going to be like a direct follow-up. In some of the older games, when you flip from the Light World to the Dark World, I wonder if they would do something similar to that, in which case they would rework the land, and like things would kind of go haywire.
So kind of what you're saying is it should be done. If they're
no, I don't think it would be. I think they would have a lot. The thing is, there's a lot of landscape in that game. They're not going to release the same exact map. They have to find a clever way to adjust it, and then they have to adjust the entirety of the map. Like, that seems pretty crazy if that's what they do. So I'm excited. And they can take their time, because I've only killed 2 divine beasts.
They can take their time because I won't play it anyway. So.
You'll play it. Yeah, you'll play it, but you won't finish it. You'll give it like 5 minutes.
I'll give it the old college try.
It's gonna be in your game collection, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, we'll see.
So you guys play games like entirely the opposite way from I do. Like, if I'm gonna get a game, I want to be sure that I want to play the game. I don't start a lot of different games, but then I play through it and experience every bit of it that I can.
Yeah, that's
yeah. I've tried to do that now. I just beat American Fugitive for that review and got my money's worth.
Nice. Yeah, I played a little bit of that before, and I'm glad I didn't buy it.
Yeah, I made him try it because it's so satisfying running over fences.
It is very fun to drive through fences. I don't know why.
So there's long stretches of fence, and you just drive through it, and the controller rumbles, like, not the entire time. Like, each new link of the fence you break, it rumbles again. It's just, it feels so good.
I can't explain.
Brian, where was this controller?
What?
Oh. Awkward. Any other releases? Any other information that we need to discuss?
No, I don't want to hear about releases after the conversation with the controller.
Any other E3 news before we get into our flick?
You know that there is nothing on my...
Yeah, I know you.
I don't think so. I think we touched on the cool things.
All right. Well, that's it. That's E3 2019. Now, our flick of the week. Aladdin, a kind-hearted street urchin and a power-hungry Grand Vizier vie for the magic lamp that has the power to make their deepest wishes come true. Everybody knows what Aladdin's about.
So the funny thing is, I have the IMDb page open while you were reading it, so I'm looking at the exact same block of text you were reading from.
Uh-huh.
And in my mind, I was waiting for you to stumble, because I 100% would have stumbled at Grand Vizier Vi at the end of that line.
Yeah, the only thing that saved me is that Vi is on the next line.
On mine, it's on the same line.
If it was on
and that's what the line ends with Vi, so it's Grand Vizier Vi.
It sound like V.
Yes!
Oh my god. Initial reactions. How did you guys feel about Aladdin?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, how did I feel about the synopsis?
Well, start with that. How do you feel about the synopsis?
I mean, we've previewed better ones.
Fair.
We've previewed better synopsises than this one, but we've also done worse too.
Yeah. We have
like Good Time. I don't remember what Good Time was, but I feel like it was wholly unsatisfying.
It's probably as misleading as the title.
Exactly. As far as how the movie made me feel, it didn't quite recapture the spark of the original, which was so very important to my childhood.
Sure.
But it was pretty damn good. And my chief concern with the movie was also probably Brian's non-Will Smith division.
I didn't catch that last part of what you meant, but yeah, I will agree with you. Same thing. This basically, the gist of it for me is the movie was better than I expected it to be.
Oh, yeah.
The Aladdin animated film is probably one of, if not my favorite, animated Disney movies.
Yeah. And it was my favorite as well.
And then seeing, obviously, when this came out, I was excited because it's like, oh, Aladdin. But then I was also like, this can't be as good. And mostly it is because of the lack of Robin Williams. Like, he does make that movie.
Yeah.
So I knew going in, like, Will Smith's going to have some big shoes to fill. And I'm curious how it would play out.
I'll talk a little about Will Smith, too, when I get there. But,
yeah.
I mean, all right, so I guess, seeing the trailers, I didn't think Aladdin looked good. I didn't think Jasmine looked good. And I wasn't excited about Will Smith.
So pause on that for 1 second, because I'm going to agree with you on two of those things. I actually originally didn't think they casted Jasmine very well. That turns around ends up being.
Well, I still don't think she. I don't look at her and think Jasmine, but she played the part.
She was incredible.
Yes,
I actually thought looked like Aladdin.
So the first image when you see him picking up the lamp, like in the trailer, I was like, this don't look at all like Aladdin. But then I don't know what changed in my brain, but I see the.
It's the smile. He does the Aladdin smile, crooked.
It's the very toothy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was my favorite character by far. I thought he was amazing.
Yeah, the protagonist really got you. No, you can stay. It's okay. Go on. Continue.
I'm done.
So overall, generally, the movie we all pretty much felt better than we expected. Is that?
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as I would have hoped, but it was better than I feared.
Well, it was better than I hoped because I thought I was going to be like, this is a piece of trash.
So, a couple of things. Diving right into it.
Yeah.
Movie's kicking off. Things that I noticed early on. It feels like it took the actors a little bit of time to get comfortable into the roles early on in the movie.
Which is weird because movies aren't shot in order.
I know, right. Which is very strange. But then that made me wonder, it almost felt like they were taking the first shot. Like they were just, like, whatever they shot first, they just used in some of those early scenes. Unless they were rewrites and reshoots and they just did it once and took it. Like, I don't know, there was something about it that seemed a little bit off, and almost as if they were like, almost as if they had a teleprompter. Like, it felt like they were reading directly off the script for the first maybe 20, 30 minutes of the movie.
What I wondered was, it's been a long time, and this one was beloved, but I feel like it doesn't get talked about in the same way as somebody like, oh, Lion King, or pick like your...
Lion King's the other one I'm worried about.
I feel like for some reason it kind of got like left behind a little bit from like when it was like at its peak, like that it was very much of its time. So I wonder if it was one of those things where it was even more a little bit like they made sure to dot all their I's and cross all their T's to get the audience back in step with what's going on here.
Yeah.
I was recently, I wasn't big on Will Smith, and I was recently at something. It was embarrassing. It was Donald Duck's birthday, and if you were one of the first 100 people at the Disney store, you got a key that looked like Donald Duck clothes. So I was at the mall an hour before it opened.
I keep going.
So I'm at the mall.
See, you started this story before I could make the Rachel Ray joke. But now continue, please.
So I'm at the mall an hour before it opens, and
for your Donald Duck key.
Yeah, there's a line of people. Now the best part was Kristen. It was her idea, but we woke up too late for her to get ready in time, so I went by myself.
Amazing.
So she wasn't even there.
Fantastic.
And there were a bunch of
That is what we call a power move. That was completely premeditated.
Probably. There were a bunch of YouTubers there on the line that are holding their phones up, saying where their channel is. I don't care. And finally, get in. I'm online, and these people are talking about Aladdin, and this guy's Will Smith stole the show, and it took all. I hate talking to people. It took all my might not just to turn around and be like no. But I kept my bitch face on because I didn't want people talking to me because I love Disney. We're Disney Vacation Club members. I could talk about Disney with anyone. I just don't want to.
Fair.
And God, everyone in this line seemed to love Will Smith. So I don't know if there's something I'm missing, but
let's dive into it.
There is something you're missing. Yes. What I'll say is, I would disagree with him having stole the show.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's true, but he absolutely stole some scenes.
Yes.
Oh, the scene after the Prince Ali song when
with the jam,
yes,
jelly or jam.
Move away from the jam.
That was good.
He absolutely stole that scene.
You
know what it was? He stole the scenes that he was in where he wasn't full on genie mode.
Yes, when he was just funny Will Smith, he stole those scenes. But I feel like he tried to do that for the genie scenes too, and it just didn't work.
Well,
the problem is you're always going to be comparing
absolutely.
him to Robin Williams. You're always going to do it. No matter how hard you try to, you're going to do it.
It wasn't so much I was comparing him to Robin Williams. I was comparing him to The Fresh Prince, and his delivery was the same. Because Kristen likes Will Smith, so I've been watching a lot of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, the way he delivers his jokes is the same way he was talking as the genie. It just, that was what was distracting. It wasn't even the Robin Williams thing. It was just his delivery on his lines.
But see, the thing is, for me, when I think Will Smith, I think Men in Black or I think Hitch. So it's just Will Smith.
That's an odd second movie to put there. Like, most people would put Bad Boys or Hitch.
Well, I've seen Hitch a million times.
I mean, I've seen it too. I love Kevin James.
The thing is,
you do love Kevin James.
Yeah, I do.
The thing is, if you've watched Hitch, there is a lot of Hitch in this movie, or at least in that role.
I feel like that's Will Smith. Like, that's him just playing himself.
Well, that's the bigger point that I'm trying to make is whatever you think of Will Smith, make it Independence Day. Whatever version of Will Smith that you want to make.
Your second choice. Why was Hitch the second choice?
I've seen all three of those movies a million times. I was only going with 2 examples. So
I mean, there were worse movies. Like, you could have picked like After Earth or I Am Legend. Like, there are worse ones you could have picked, but.
No, it didn't feel like I Am Legend to me. I'm sorry.
The scenes where he's scenes where he's not full on genie. I do think he did very well. What took away from the experience, the genie, Robin Williams genie. I don't understand. I was thinking about it after the fact. I don't understand how they did that in the cartoon because it really feels a lot of the time like it's just him riffing on the potential situation, and then they make it work in the animation because it's just him, like, it's Robin Williams' crazy mind just moving at like 1,000 miles a minute. So like I mean that is Robin Williams, right? Like, so but then Will Smith, unless he wanted to go full on goofy, he was never going to reach that. And when they're doing the grand scenes, you are full, whether you want to or not, you are expecting the Robin Williams delivery. And
I was pretty happy he didn't do that.
I don't think that he could have pulled it off. That being said,
I'm just glad he didn't try.
There are two actors that I think could have filled this role
I'm ready.
Perfectly. The first, I think that Jason Mantzoukas.
Who is that?
Would have.
First of all, no.
Oh, no. Yes. Okay.
Hell no, Jason Mantzoukas cannot be the fucking genie.
Yes, he could. He absolutely could.
No.
He would be fantastic as it.
No, you know what he should have been he should have been Iago.
No, I'm telling you.
They didn't even give the bird a voice in this.
Wasn't it?
I mean,
wasn't it Alan Tudyk?
Barely.
Was it Alan Tudyk?
I think it was.
I just know Gilbert Gottfried was mad that they didn't let him do it.
But anyway, I think Mantzoukas could have pulled it off, specifically because of the way that he is funny and quick and just like riffing on the situation. I think that he could have pulled off that really goofy. Mm-hmm. The other person that I think would have been absolutely perfect for it is Terry Crews. I think that he would have crushed it as the genie.
Well, the problem is, like we've just say, pick your movie, whether it be Hitch, Independence Day, I Am Legend, After Earth, whatever version of Will Smith you want to. He's got a specific cadence, and Robin Williams has a specific cadence, and the two of them do not overlap.
No, not even a little bit.
And I don't think Jason Mantzoukas' cadence overlaps either, though. Like,
no, but
he can do the Robin Williams cadence for one line. He can't sustain it for 90 seconds.
Oh, he could. I think he could.
That's never been him. He speaks in clipped sentences.
He's an improv genius, though. I think he could.
I totally agree, but he's never strung his stuff together.
This would have been the opportunity to do that. I think it would have been fun. I think for those grand genie scenes, I think he would have been a better pick. That being said, I wouldn't want to replace Will Smith in those more human scenes that he had.
I don't want to replace Will Smith in any scenes. Now, I don't like Will Smith there, but I feel like it could have been worse.
It could have been worse. The music should have been better with him.
Yeah, like he is a musician, and not every song lended to that. Like, He could have done more. Although I got very agitated at the opening scene when they're on the boat and he's talking with the kids. And they're like, oh, sing it. It's better to sing. No, I'm not going to sing. Too tired. Sing. Like, it was just weird.
It was just a dad being silly.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was just like kooky dad stuff.
Don't bother me.
Hey, nobody should really care too much about spoilers, so we're just going to...
I mean, it came out in the 90s.
Well, I mean, for this movie. We're not going to worry too much about
movie.
it. No, it's not, because the genie stuff, the genie storyline Him and
The Handmaid.
what they had Dahlia, Nassim Pedrad.
Nassim Pedrad from New.
Who she's fantastic. I think she's hilarious. When she's on screen, I just want to laugh.
Yeah.
And the two of them and their romantic chemistry worked really well.
Yeah.
And tying it, so in the original movie, the genie plays the voice of the salesman opening the story and then telling you this tale. The way that they did that here with him on the boat telling the tale and then it tying back in to being them and his wife and Dahlia being his that was really that was adorable. I really enjoyed that.
And I liked the Arabian Nights song. I thought that was done pretty well. I did not like You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me.
Yeah.
It just
I thought it was fine.
It didn't really land for me.
it didn't seem very natural in a lot of parts.
I
The
liked it
beatboxing
well
was
enough. I don't know.
obnoxious.
I actually kind of liked how they did it. If you can't reproduce what Robin Williams is doing, do something a little bit different. They did something a little bit different. I liked it well enough.
Let's talk about one character that was spot on identical to their character in the cartoon. Can you tell me which character that is? No? The carpet. The carpet was 100% the exact same character. And maybe even better.
Carpet was good.
Carpet was fantastic.
When he ripped...
There was an audible gasp in the theater. When he ripped, everybody went... it was.
Did that happen in the cartoon? I don't remember.
I think so.
I think he got unraveled.
Oh, was that it? That might be right. But going back to the characters for a second, though, and the actors and actresses who play them. Initially seeing the trailer, I was on board with Aladdin. You said you weren't at first.
Correct.
I was on board with Aladdin. I wasn't on board with Jasmine. By the end of it, after seeing the movie, I thought Jasmine was the best character for me. She was fantastic, and the songs, her singing, everything was amazing.
Well, I don't know if she was the best character, but it was the best performance.
And
was it just me, or did the Speechless song at the end really sound like Let It Go at some points?
So, the Speechless song is from Pasek and Paul, who do the music for La La Land, The Greatest Showman, and my favorite Broadway show, Dear Evan Hansen. So, new song by them, you know it's going to be good. And her, it's just super powerful. And that song was absolutely unreal, and that's what sealed it for me, that she was the best.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she was like that sort of singer. Her voice is fucking incredible.
Yeah,
She sings really well.
Out of
the only thing I ever saw her in was the Pink Ranger in the rebooted.
I didn't see that. Was that any good?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I liked it. It wasn't good, but I liked it.
Okay, I'd watch that.
I had meant to get around to it because I was a big Power Rangers fan when
It's not good,
I was a kid.
but I like it.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if you can identify, like, oh, this thing is bad, but I enjoy it. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Like Zombie.
We should watch the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Like the TV movie?
No, the movie. Well, it was in theaters.
No. The theatrical one.
Yeah?
Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Something's come along and it's with
When
Ivan
I
Ooze.
when I was a little kid, I watched that movie entirely too many times.
Yeah, oh yeah, me too. I think we've watched it together. That was one. You know what movie that this might be the last movie that I bought that was in the bubble box VHS.
Those things are great.
Yeah.
How can we take up more room? Brilliant.
You gotta really secure the VHS, though.
We don't even have to ship it in bubble wrap. It comes with its own. Oh my god, so ridiculous.
So we're spoiling the movie?
We're spoiling the movie. Jasmine and Aladdin on board. Worst casting of the movie, Jafar.
Yeah, bad.
It's not even a question.
Horrible.
But when he went full-blown evil at the end, like, he was good.
He was fine.
He was, as I say, he was okay.
Well, yeah, he was bad.
Yeah, that was. You know what it was? The thing that I couldn't get over, and again, I'm getting hung up on the original movie. He just wasn't old enough. Like he wanted him to be old and creepy and wise and like, I don't know. It just
Well, the thing he has to be, whatever age he is he has to be some sort of intimidating.
He wasn't.
yeah.
He wasn't physically intimidating. His voice wasn't intimidating. Like that's if they had found he just was poorly cast. Because yeah, when he's unraveling at the end, he did a good job at that point.
Mm-hmm.
He played mad really well, but he didn't play scary the other 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah.
No, I liked the idea of what they want, like conceptually what they wanted to do, making him like parallel Aladdin. He was a thief, but he became this other person.
Although, if you're gonna do that, then do it.
Yeah, right.
I feel like they like tiptoed around it for 2 seconds and then like ran away from it.
That's
no.
Totally
like
fair.
There's something there. Keep mining that gold, but either way, whether you're going all in on that story or not, he just wasn't a fit for the menace that Jafar and the charm, because it's the whole point of it, right? It's just like the double, like he has successfully charmed the Sultan, but when he tries to turn his charm on more discerning people, they're either creeped out or scared by him. And I didn't see the creepiness or the scariness.
I remember when the casting first came out, like the picture of Jafar was like of the actual actor was like a shirtless thing, and like women all over the internet were like, "Oh, now I'm rooting for Jafar." And like from that, like start of the casting, like this is just gonna be dumb.
I mean, like he's a good-looking guy, but that doesn't really play into it. Like he didn't have the charm to match the looks. If they wanted to go that route, where it's like Jafar as like a sex symbol type of thing, where he seduces his way into power or whatever, fine. But they didn't even do that.
Yeah. The Sultan wasn't nearly fat enough.
No, he wasn't fat at all.
That actually
he was a short, round thing in the cartoon.
But you know what?
Go on.
I was gonna say the thing is, I liked what they did with this, because the cartoon version of the Sultan would never ever work in this version of the movie. You can't do that like weird.
You can't cast Danny DeVito.
Well, no, but you can't do that weird buffoon, childlike thing, because it immediately breaks the illusion of what's going on.
That is
with
fair.
This movie.
That's fair.
So I actually really liked the direction they took him in this, and Naveed Nagaman is really good actor. I'm glad that they finally let him play something that isn't just a terrorist, although he does that pretty well too.
No,
most famous for being on Homeland, but
I'm mostly joking. It's because, especially when they unroll the scroll and they show original artwork in the scroll, and it's original Genie and Fat Sultan, and I was like, oh man, I missed that guy.
This movie got me even more worried about Lion King.
Really?
It's not a Lion King. It's not a live action.
Lion King's gonna be fantastic, though.
It's a CG movie, but
first of all, those are all real lions.
Sure. Abu was creepy as shit, and that's gonna be what all the freaking animals in Lion King are.
Did you see Jungle Book?
No, it creeped me out. Like, it's just weird looking.
Jungle Book was amazing. Not the one from when we were kids.
Right,
and traumatized us.
You have to stop bringing it up, because I'm going to keep bringing it up.
You're talking about
quicksand.
The one they made with the little kid, like the real kid.
The one with the quicksand.
But
yes,
not the one that the other guy put out. Whose name I can't think of names tonight. I think it was called Ka, though.
The Netflix one.
I don't know. The guy that was in Black Panther.
Oh, that's right. There was 2 Jungle Book movies in quick succession.
There were.
What is his name?
Not very quick succession.
What is his
name?
Who from Black Panther?
The first bad guy.
The first M'Baku? He wasn't really a bad guy. He was just...
It's Paul Black Panther.
Okay.
I'll tell you who it is. Because he's got a company that does CG for games, too, so I should know his name offhand. And as soon as I see it... Nope.
Let's see.
Andy Serkis.
Oh.
And Andy Serkis played.
That is... I don't know why... Okay.
Why what?
Completely forgot about that. That was the one that was on Netflix, wasn't it?
I think so.
And it looked horrible.
I didn't see that one, and I didn't see the other one, because I don't know, real life looking animals speaking.
Listen, you need to see...
Nope.
You need to see the Jungle Book.
The 1994
No. We're leaving that one alone.
What's so creepy about that one?
No, he has to watch it. He has to watch it.
I've seen the 1994 one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
If you've seen it and you don't cringe when it comes up, then you have.
Are we talking about the snake scene?
No, we're talking about the quicksand scene.
The quicksand scene. This live action. If you had a problem with this live action one, sure, that's fine. This one, I'm scrolling through pictures for Brian.
Me and Anthony have shared PTSD from that fucking movie that he didn't realize that he was repressing until I mentioned
Still afraid of quicksand today.
Ago.
Quicksand's not a problem.
I know. I thought it was going to be
You bite your tongue.
More of
you bite your tongue. Quicksand's not a problem.
There's no quicksand in the world.
Shush.
Shut your face. You should shut your mouth when I'm talking to you.
Did you ever see the John Mulaney skit when he talks about quicksand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's in part inspired by that fucking movie, Brian.
You need to see it. Going back, some of the music bothered me, and here's why. They did a lot of the scenes that the movie did that were original or like fresh takes were actually the better scenes of the movie. When they did new things, they did them well. When they delivered some of the scenes right out of the cartoon, especially some of the songs, they did this weird thing where they tried to make it a little bit different, but they didn't want to go full in and change it up completely. And they messed with like the tempo and pacing of the delivery of the lines of the songs that I expected them to be delivered because they started it off right, and then they would change it up on me, and it's just like, it was a little bit jarring.
But it's like when you see any version of like a cover, like where they do that sort of thing.
No, because generally you keep at least you keep a consistent tempo or beat. They almost delivered some of the lines of the music like Def Jam poetry. Like it was just like, and then pause, and then pause, and it was too.
Well, again, that comes down to the cadence of Will Smith.
That was some of it, but it was some of the songs that Aladdin sings that were.
Yeah, One Jump was a little weird.
Yeah.
The slow motion stuff was a little weird.
But it's weird because that song was always like kind of like Lou Reed, like spoken word.
Well, let me give you an example though. He goes, riff raff, street rat, I don't buy that. That's how that song goes. Mm-hmm. But he goes, riff raff, street rat, I don't buy that. Changing that up was jarring for me because they are songs that I remember so well. And the delivery so well.
That's a weird nitpick. I don't know.
If you have a musical ear at all, I think it would bother you.
I don't have any musical.
I mean, I immediately picked up that they did it differently. You're right. It just didn't bother me because it's not the same movie.
Yeah.
The slow motion is what bothered me.
I can't think of off the head.
They did one slow motion when he threw him at the tower.
No, there's some slow motion during the One Jump, wasn't there?
I don't think so.
There might have been.
I could be misremembering.
See that scene was fun to watch.
Oh, when they were running and jumping off, the two of them together running and jumping off the thing, they did
before that. I feel like when they were in town, like some of it went slow.
I don't think so.
I could totally be screwing up the memory of it.
Yeah. Listen, we're talking our way around all these songs. The hands down the best song from this one and the original, and I don't want to hear any argument.
Prince Ali.
Prince Ali has always been the MVP of this, even though everyone always talks about Friend Like Me and everyone talks about A Whole New World. Prince Ali has always been the best goddamn song, and I don't want to hear any argument otherwise.
It was done really well in this movie.
Prince Ali may have been the best song, but Prince Anders was the best Prince.
Fine, we can get to that in a minute, though. I'm sticking with Prince Ali.
That's fair. Follow it up with the jam scene.
Yeah, the jam scene was my favorite. Yes, jams!
I liked how they did, because the one thing I'll say is, you're right, it's always going to pale in comparison, recreating like the manic energy of a lot of this stuff, because you literally can't portray it on screen in a live action movie the same way that you would an animated movie. It's just not possible to do it, right?
Absolutely. No, for sure. No.
So I think that's the only thing that really holds back something like Friend Like Me. But not A Whole New World. Prince Ali doesn't get held back by that because it was grounded a little bit more, even though it's over the top and ridiculous. It is a more grounded thing. Mm-hmm. I really liked, even though the way they kind of like mixed it up and like redid it for this slightly, it still stays true to the spirit of what they did in the original one. And it's just like a fun song, and I love how they turn it into the whole thing where he says, "We're not going." until I see you do it. And I was like, what the hell are they talking about? And you see his hand shaking, and I was like, and then he finally starts tapping along with it. I love that.
Yeah. No, that was good. You know what I love about the genie and his outfit?
What?
I love the commitment to the bun on the top of the head, and the fact that they need to. He needs the head wrap to be so large and ridiculous to cover it. Because of all of the changes that he makes, he will not change the hair.
It's his little cherry on top.
It's so ridiculous. Brian, you have so I only had a couple of Easter eggs listed here, and one of them was the scroll that I mentioned earlier when they unravel the scroll, and it's the original animation. Brian pointed one out for us before we saw the movie, which I appreciate that you did. I think I would have seen it because I did spot it right away, but it's definitely worth. If you haven't seen the movie, you should look out for this one. Go ahead.
Right after they get out of the cave, they're in the desert just kind of chilling and talking. And Carpet's just in the background throwing sand around. And then you eventually see that he's created the castle from like the Disney logo for the movie, and then throws the shooting star over it.
So good. That was a great little Easter egg. Yeah. Were there others that you noticed? There weren't a ton.
That was the only one I really noticed. Yeah. But I haven't really had a time to really.
Sure, it's not like you really were rewatching it. Yeah. But no, that was adorable. That was really cool. And the Cave of Wonders, I thought the art style of that was pretty sweet as well.
Yeah.
Then wasn't a fan.
That's all right.
What else? What else you guys got? That's pretty much all my notes. I will say though,
if we're going to talk about the Cave of Wonders thing, though, that was one change that I didn't really love. That it was, and I guess it was playing to the heart of. I guess I would have liked it better if they actually fully chased that thread of Jafar mentioning the parallel between the two of them, but changing the idea of where like he was like the beggar that broke him out of the prison and then like betrays him, and he doesn't really quote unquote know who Jafar is.
Right.
Instead, they choose to go down this path of, oh, you're just like me, and I can understand your motivation, this and that. But the whole payoff to that whole thing is just the sequence in which he steals the genie lamp. If they had gone and like deepened that story a little bit more, then I would have been cool with the change. But I always kind of liked that bait and switch thing that they did.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Did it bother anyone else that he never actually wished to be a genie? There was just a lot of gray area in that wish.
Well, I would be bothered with it if it wasn't a callback to the line from earlier in the movie.
I guess.
Yeah. That's right. He should have said it, though. There was no reason to hold that back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
It bothered me a little bit.
But again, I feel like that's kind of just like a nitpick. I mean, it is. You're right. It is an inconsistency. You're absolutely right. It just ultimately kind of rolls off my back.
It didn't really matter.
Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, yeah. One thing I will say that I liked for if you're going to do this version of this thing and you want to do something that's going to be that you're going to actually like pay attention to, like something that makes this like genuinely unique to the whole situation is, I like that they leaned into the whole parkour thing with Aladdin. I like that was like a thing where it was like, and it was like a recurring thing throughout the course of the movie. Like that makes Aladdin like actually matter. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of justified like even like bothering to do this. Like otherwise, just like I don't know, re-release and like HDify like the original like animated version of it. Going with that whole thing added like a new flair for it. It was like visually really well done, and also it paralleled well with adding the whole dance sequence thing to it.
The dancing was awesome in this movie.
That was fun,
and that was a cool addition. Doing that whole dance thing, and the whole thing. Oh man, was the backflip too much? And then she finally said, "It was the backflip."
Like I thought in the You Have a Friend Like Me song, like when he was controlling like a puppet, that dance was cool. Then when they were dancing together at the end, that was cool. The dance scene you were just describing was really cool. Like the whole Prince Ali dance stuff was cool. Like the dancing in this movie was really good.
Yep.
And again, to just hammer home the whole Hitch parallel, the end sequence is just Aladdin's version of Hitch. It's the exact same fucking scene.
You're breaking Brian. He doesn't want to admit it, but he knows you're right.
He knows I'm right, and he also knows that secretly he loves that movie, and he's going to go.
I like that
He's
movie.
not claiming that he dislikes it.
I like it.
No, but there was a weird amount of judgment for me bringing it up
Because
the parallels are there in this movie.
It was a weird judgment because if I go like, "Hey, Ann, can you name like 3 Will Smith movies?"
Wild Wild West.
All right, I accept that before Hitch.
Bad
And
Boys.
again, that the cadence is there. No, but the thing is, like Genie is playing matchmaker for him, just like Hitch did. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of
Hitch
parallels.
didn't
Why
play
I thought the movie-
matchmaker. I mean, he didn't set him up with him.
Well, in both cases, they came to him. He's still playing matchmaker.
I'll allow it.
Because I'm right. Thank you for allowing me to be correct, which I am factually.
All right. Any closing thoughts?
See the movie. It's worth your time.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they were judicious in how they like meted out like new material in addition to what Speechless Edition was good. The other little bits that they had, the dance sequence and the whole like the cocktail party after after the jam scene, right, where he's now has to ingratiate himself properly. That was all mostly new. I liked those additions.
Yam
I thought that
jams.
they fitted well.
Yeah. The new scenes were what did it for me. Actually, those were
the
best
SNL
parts.
girl was really a welcome addition. Prince Anders,
The who?
the handmaid, the girl from SNL. I can't think of her name.
She's in SNL.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't remember her. I don't remember her being in SNL.
Yeah.
Totally be wrong about that.
It's definitely not New Girl.
That's what
Yeah.
I remember her from as New Girl.
Allie. But anyway, that's all for this week's episode of Flix in the Six. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have a movie for us to discuss or nuggets for us to chat about, you can send those requests to flixinthe6@spinchoon.com or tweet us at the Spinchoon with the hashtag FLI6. Tune in next week for more movie and beer goodness. Until then, I'm Anthony Costanzo.
And I'm Al Bielsi.
I'm Brian Rooney.
Thanks for coming out.